Welcome to our Rolemaster actual play session. Ain't No Place for a Hero is a campaign set in the world of Duranarki, the continent of men. A gritty, cutthroat world where politics, sorcery, religion, and commerce are all intertwined and reign supreme. Treachery and murder both come cheap, and characters need to be both smart and ruthless to survive. We hope you enjoy our story, and, as always, may the dice roll in your favor. This is side quest 120a of Ain't No Place for a Hero. This episode is a departure from the main story and involves only one character. The party have successfully completed their task to revive their friend Keros, bringing her back from death's dark path. We rejoin our heroes in the squalid, free city of Landania in the South Catana Sea, as Tarquin's mind turns to other schemes. Hello, I'm Chris, otherwise known as GM Chance, and as the words say on screen, welcome to our story. That story is Ain't No Place for a Hero. And tonight, we have an extra special session. This is a side quest. This is where one of the players, and in this case just one of the characters, is up to either no good or up to at least something by themselves. And tonight, we have Giles, who is playing Tarquin. That's Tarquin's image up on screen. It is just Giles this evening, so this will be a special side quest, a separate session just with Giles and just with his character Tarquin. I'm going to leave it there by way of initial intro, or what I'd like to do is hand the floor, the mic, the whatever, over to Giles. A couple of words intro for his character. Take it away, Giles.
Thanks, Chris. So Tarquin is a really young half-elf. Had a pretty rough upbringing in many respects, pretty tough. And like many people early in life, is kind of having a think about what life means for him and weighing up some of the expectations from his early life and some of his thinking about what it means to be an adult. Some of which we might see played out tonight, depending on, I guess, both Chance and the GM. And I'll pass it back to you, Chris.
Marvellous. The GM? I don't know what you're talking about. The GM doesn't exist. I'm just merely a figment of your character's imagination. Excellent. So, in terms of where we begin this evening, we're going to start... I'll just bring up my calendar. Where are we? Of course, the GM keeps a calendar. I'll just change my music as well. Switch up a bit of the free city of Landania. Switch that down. There we go. So we are going to start just where we left off the last session, the Ain't No Place for a Hero game we played most recently. So to set the scene for both yourself, Giles, and also for our viewers, I'm just going to smidge that down just a smidge. There we go. It's a bit better. The characters have been on an odyssey, quite a lengthy odyssey, to attempt to bring their friends Keros back to both life and indeed health. And happy to say, you've succeeded. The characters went on a piece of travel down to one of the 7 seas, called the Sea of Vargus. You managed to find a very competent but also extremely expensive healer, and that healer was able to repair the horrific damage that was done to Keros, and she was able to be brought back to life. She did still suffer some issues with her stat, for in gaming terms, her stats being very low down. So in response to that, the party have decided, and did decide, to return to the free city of Landania, where you initially started out. And this is what you've come back to. A city not quite as bad as that, because it's been about 15-20 days, so there has been, fortunately, some cleanup, but certainly the city of Landania did suffer quite a moderately serious earthquake when you just as you left, the day before, or a few days before you left. You're greeted, the party is greeted by their host, a woman by the name of Myrna, this woman here. She greets you as she has done previously at the navigator column, the navigator stones, and has taken you back to this place, the safe house that you found yourselves in some difficulty in a few sessions back. After resting in the safe house for a day, the very next day, the 29th, which is the second to last day of the year, Myrna has escorted you all the way down to this place here, which is... It's got so many screens up, there we go. This place here, which is the temple of Hira Akraya, who was the a temple for the goddess of healing and renewal, one of the old gods in Landania that you'd dealt with previously, and it provides some initial healing and recuperation for Keros. In that temple, you were met with, particularly Tarquin was met with quite a frosty reception from this woman, Sister Michelle, who had been asked to join Tarquin for what she thought anyway was a romantic evening, or potentially a romantic evening, only to be somewhat dismissed by Tarquin, and she clearly was quite aggrieved at that interaction. She is at the temple, along with her superior, this woman here, or will be once I... Oh, no. Oh, there we go. This woman here, High Priestess Aveline. And as a result of that displeasure from Sister Michael, the price to assist with Keros's increased in statistics, gaming terms, went up by about 15 or 16%. However, the good news is that on this day, the 29th, the second to last day of the year, Keros has been healed. You take Keros back from this temple, so you leave... oops. Oh, I'm terrified that the software is going to break. There we go. You travel back from that temple, and you make your way back to the safe house. And where we left it last time, you may recall, the very last part of last session was Keros opening her eyes and saying a few words. Firstly, she says Victory, the name of her cat. Secondly, Leif, the name of her fellow party member. And then lastly, Grey with a question mark. And that's where we left it. So, we begin play on the 29th of Year's End. The weather is grey and quite unpleasant, sticky and humid and hot and overcast. It's very, very late in the day. It's basically dusk. Things are closing up. Shops are closing around you. Tomorrow is of course, Year-End's Day, a very inauspicious, sinister day. People say it's cursed. Most people are very eager to get indoors. Just going on for dusk. The lights of the sun is receding. The lights of the city are rapidly coming up. And we turn over to you, Tarquin. What do you do?
Yeah, thanks. So, I guess Tarquin's been pretty wrapped up in his new group of adventurers and pretty focused on this pretty intense mission to do something that's kind of wild, bringing someone back to life, right? This is wild. And now that has happened, I guess he has been a bit deflated, or at least has recognised he has some responsibilities, which he's been somewhat overlooking related to year's end, that he needs to get to. And so he's going to essentially slope away from the rest of the group, who are obviously completely preoccupied with Karis. He's going to divest his equipment upstairs with the other equipment that is there. He's going to take with him his superior rope, which he will tie around the middle of his person so it doesn't encumber him in any way. His 2 daggers and his short sword.
Yep.
And he's going to look to slip out of this house without others noticing. And I can't remember exactly where the party are, so if they are not in the way of the front door, if they're upstairs, he'll just go downstairs and out the front door you go. And if they are, he'll look to pop out a window and use these planks to get along to another building and find an alternative way down to the ground. He obviously has been paying close attention to the walk to and from the Temple of Hera, and that's his first destination, pretty much as quickly as he can get there.
Yeah, cool. Excellent. Fantastic. So first and foremost, just see if you can see my cursor. That's good. Sometimes. Yep, great. So no, the party have gone upstairs. They've taken Silvioross all the way up to the top floor. That's where the beds are, and that's obviously the most logical place to put someone who is not feeling very well. And they've put her down there. Tarquin, you've seen that Silvioross is awake and talking. And then you've slipped out and downstairs into the dusk with the equipment that you've described.
Great. And then he's out of the compound and will retrace his steps to the Temple of Hera.
Cool. What I'd like him to do. So this is a large city, and it's a somewhat unfamiliar city to Tarquin. He did spend 21 days here previously, and he has been paying close attention, as mentioned. But it's still quite a large city, and it's also still a bit chaotic in places. I would like you to make a light +10 memory check just to see if he gets tied up on his way getting back to the Temple of Greta.
Okay, and so for this, it's a D100, Chris?
D100, add on, it's a +10, so you get a bonus of +10, and you add on your memory, and you need to get 50 or above for success.
It's the memory bonus, yeah?
Memory bonus, correct.
Yeah, okay, so when I give you figures, Chris, I'm just going to add everything together and give them to you, so he's 75.
75? Cool. So you had to get 50. Easy. So, Tarquin, you clearly have been paying close attention, and yes, you do find your way back to the Temple of Hera quite quickly. And what I'm going to do is just going to do a little bit of GM jiggery pokery just for a second. What I'm going to do here is show you. You can see that?
Oh, yep.
Yep, so this is, as it says there, Landania.
Yep.
And of course, Tarquin doesn't know this in his head, but he's got a rough idea of where things are. So docks, etc., down here, and he knows that the drowned rat is somewhere down here. The market district is somewhere over here. The Temple of Hera is here, and we'll come to that in a second. The safe house that he's in is he doesn't know exactly, but it's somewhere up here, somewhere north. So he's having to travel all the way down, cross a few canals, go through an old city wall that's kind of crumbling and falling away up there, trace his way through the streets, and make his way down. And he gets there you rolled really well. He had to get 50, and you got a 75. So he actually makes pretty good time. As you travel down through the city, Tarquin, definitely the crowds are thinning. The number of people out in the streets substantially less than there was. And just going to tone down a couple of the sound effects that I had. Yeah, we'll switch that down a smidge. There we go. Let's get to the tree frogs, etc. But the sounds of people, occasionally you would hear voices, and certainly on your way through the city, and then little bit by little bit, as you went through, the crowds thin, and really it's just down to one or two voices every now and then. It's definitely a lot quieter. But you do, it's a bit of a walk. It would take you maybe half an hour, 3/4 of an hour. And by the time you get to the Temple of Hera, it's dark. And you'll be happy to know, I've prepared a map for this. 1 second.
Just so you know, Chris, mindful of the fact he doesn't want to really bump into Sister Michelle, he's going to cast face shifting on himself. But he wants to do this in a way that does not take away from his charming appearance, but changes his face sufficiently to be, relatively unrecognisable.
Okay. So, give me a roll on this with adequate preparation. It's only a failure on a 1 or a 2.
41.
41.
And he's going to cast that spell sort of in a quiet space, pretty close to the temple. He knows he's only got 70 minutes of it.
Cool. So, here we go. Coming onto a screen near you. Right now. So this is the temple. And just a little bit about the surrounding area. So you've come from the north, up here. 3/4 of an hour away or so. There's the river, and then down in this direction, down here is the South Catana Sea, and the docks, etc. down here. There are a few stalls dotted around here, but they're now pretty much deserted. So that sound of people talking has pretty much all but gone. Every now and then, a person and footfalls might go past, but it's pretty quiet. So there are a few stalls outside the temple. There's a canal, a bit like some of the canals that are close to the safe house that you're in. You can see a canal going up there. There's a bridge that crosses it there. But this is the temple here, and just to give you a sense, can't get exactly the precise version of what we're doing, but if you imagine we're trying to replicate roughly that with that. What Tarquin has seen is as follows. There are some braziers on the corner all the way around. There's the front steps. Now, this is quite high, so this goes up around 40 or so foot to get to this level. And then Tarquin knows, because he's been there before, several times now, quite a number of times, is as follows. You go into the temple itself, and there is this large prayer hall. Now, he stood there. You may remember when you first went in, you stood at the back and you watched, you didn't know her, of course, but you watched the High Priestess, who you now known as Aveline, praying at the end of the altar up here. And you actually walk up a bit further into this area here, and then you walk down. You see those stairs there where the cursor is. You walk down into this area here. You know, because you spent a bit of time here, you were received initially in the prayer hall. Sister Michelle introduced you to High Priestess Aveline, and then you were taken along with Keros's body up these steps, along through here, in through here, and there are various doors, etc. You can see them there, and then into this room. And this is the room where Keros's body was laid on a slab, where you discuss payments, and if you remember, the amount of gold was counted out and was placed on the slab here. And there were a variety of, a large variety of herbs and what appear to be potions and various other, you're presuming, medical-related herbs, and also implements as well, medical implements. A little bit more explanation about the temple, because you have now been to it several times. This room here that you have been into has windows, one quite large window, and then some smaller ones. It's up 40 foot up these steps. These stairs that go up here are another 10 foot. They're quite shallow. So this is actually 50 foot off the ground, this bit here. And all the way around this temple, there is a walkway, and you can see it here. It's open, 50 foot off the ground, and it's enclosed. So you can see where the cursor is, all the way along here, along here, along here, along here, and here, and here. It's an open walkway, and in the walkway you can see there are windows and there are doors, and there are obviously other access points into the temple. It's covered, and when I say covered, I mean that it is there is a how would you describe it? Like a lattice work of bricks, with the space in between the bricks about this big, so you can see out and you can see in. But the space in between each brick is about this big, and it goes up from kind of a balustrade, or a what do you call that? Like a balustrade, I guess.
Yep.
A wall up at about kind of waist height up to the ceiling, and it's enclosed. So
this walkway is entirely enclosed.
Entirely enclosed, correct. Entirely enclosed. But it does run all the way around here, and you can see here, there's windows here, there's a door here, there's a door here, for example, there's another door, the double doors here, there's windows up at the very end of where the altar is, there's more double doors here, etc., etc., etc. And there is a second story on top of this as well, you can clearly see. And there is a light on in the second story up around here, and if you go up another 20 or so foot directly here, 20 foot up, in the second story there's a light on.
Can I check, Chris? In room 4, so the windows that, I just want to make sure I got this clear.
Yep.
So the windows that abut the outside.
Yes.
Are they openable?
Are they openable? Yeah, they're 50 foot up for a start. Yes. Are they openable? Give me a roll, please.
92. I could have saved that for later.
You should have.
Yeah.
They're not, I'm afraid. They are shuttered, put it that way.
Okay, so yeah, I guess you wouldn't have seen behind the shutters. And so I've got this 100% clear. Essentially, you can't fall off this walkway down 50 feet. I mean, it's like an enclosed corridor, like a hall, effectively, isn't it?
Except it's like a hall, but it is open to the elements through these lattice work, or through these what would you call that? I don't even know. So
it's a portico, basically.
It's what, sorry?
Yeah. It's an external portico, is what you're describing.
Perfect. Yeah. Yes. What you did notice was, walking through here, that there seems, and you've been in here both day and night, there are definitely there's a lot of light in here, so the actual roof of this building looks like that, and there are these shafts you can see up there where light comes down at the very top.
Yep.
And there are some more over here, and perhaps elsewhere as well.
Yep. Okay, so what Tarquin's going to do is not try and enter the temple. It's late. What he's going to do is look for a priestess or a priest. Someone who's young, someone who may still be there, maybe talking to friends. He wants to find someone he can strike up a conversation with.
Okay. Cool.
Doesn't really want to enter this.
Okay. Could you give me firstly just a pure dumb luck roll to see if there's someone around before you make the roll? It's getting late, but it's not super late. So I'd say there's a 45% chance there's someone around. 45 and under, you're good. Make the roll, please.
Hold on. 82.
Okay. Could you give me a perception roll, please?
You know, 89. I need to save all of these for when I'm fighting and really need them.
You really do. So...
And his perception is 90. If that makes a difference.
Yeah. Sorry, what was the roll?
89.
89, cool. Okay. Yeah, you see... several things of note. Where does he? Could you just tell me where does he come in? So
I mean, he'll be coming in at the back corner, right? Is where he will have come in, where there are these 5 little stalls. Yep. And he will have essentially made his way round to where the cursor is now-ish. Yep. So, yep. So he around to the place where he thinks he's most likely to see people. So he will have gone. Yep. Keep following you. Keep your pointing around. You're bang on the money. Keep going round. Yeah, about there.
Okay, cool.
So he's going to be in that area, you know, where the stalls are. He will definitely be able to see up to the front-hand part of the temple. You know, I guess he wouldn't be able to see the far right-hand column in the very edge, maybe, because he'd want to be keeping an eye on the stalls.
So that's
to maximize it.
Where's he?
Yep.
Where do you want him?
Stop.
There?
Back. Basically where you had him before. No. Just don't have the light. No. Just don't make the line anything. Yep. Bit more. Bit forward a wee bit. Forward. Stop. Yeah, somewhere around there. Stop.
Okay, cool.
That'll do.
All right. So, he sees 4 things of note with that roll. The first is, as he's walking around, and of course he's just keeping a wide berth and all the rest of it, he sees this person here.
That person looks a lot like a temple. All right. Okay.
This guy here.
Yep.
Sword sheath, of course, and he's just kind of dragging his feet around, and he's here, and he's just kind of trudging laboriously. He looks pretty bored, and he walks down here. Yep. As Tarquin turns the corner, that perception roll was definitely good enough to see this man.
It's very similar to... Oh, yep.
Please do give me a second. It does take... I'm juggling lots and lots of screens. You see this man sitting down on the steps, leisurely picking his nose and inspecting the contents at the ends of his fingers and belching intermittently.
You're going to make me turn the camera off, Chris.
And then standing up by the door, this man, and there's a lantern hanging above the door, you can see it there. This man here, who is joined almost about the same time as Tarquin arrives by this woman here. And both she and this guy, so she's come from inside the temple, and we'll give her a little figure. Oops, no we won't. We'll do this, there we go. So she's come out from inside the temple, and pretty much just as Tarquin has arrived, she starts chatting and talking to this guy here. It's Tarquin's action.
All right. So look, Tarquin will see this, in keeping a slightly wide berth of the dude who's sitting down. He's going to approach. I presume he knows this is the young priestess, so it looks like she's wearing priestess's robes.
Yes. Yeah, she is.
So she's going to approach the young priestess and the guard, intermining his not inconsiderable charm to about 120. Mm-hmm. He's going to strike up a conversation with them. And essentially, chit chat to start off with.
So he walks.
So he
gives this guy a wide, our picking nose dude and our belching dude gives him a wide berth, and he walks up 40 foot. These two are kind of laughing, and you would probably say maybe a little bit of flirting, perhaps. And they see Tarquin approaching. This guy kind of gets to his feet, wipes his mouth, and says, hello friends, can I help you?
So, like I say, charm up to 1 million. He'd introduce himself. He'd ask them how their days had been, and how things had been in the temple. And sort of generally try to ingratiate himself into the conversation. So where he wants this conversation to go is just arrived in town. It's a mess.
Okay.
I need somewhere to be for the next 2 nights.
So you've just come up, and these two seem to be getting on quite well. And you're in that situation of... they're chatting and laughing, and then suddenly you show up. So you're at a slight minus. I'll give you minus 10 for this roll. Give me a roll, please.
40.
Okay. What's his charm?
His charm is now... I'm going to have to check it now. 93.
Goodness me.
He a charming guy.
He is. So he does have a negative 10 because he's kind of, you don't know how serious the discussions were, but they were certainly chatting. So I'll read it out to you. Ye of the silver tongue, you smooth talker, your target. You have smooth talked your target into tractability. Have you considered a career in politics? So you come up, Tarquin, and hi. Sorry to. Well, no, I'd actually like you to talk me through it. You've given me.
Hi, sorry to barge in, but it's so lovely to see you guys on this night. He'd introduce himself using a pseudonym. I don't know. My name is Pfeiffer. It's lovely to see you both. How are things? How are you doing? He'd want to talk general chit chat.
Good friends, and his kind of winning smile and charming demeanor. They look slightly aggrieved at being interrupted, but they turn to him. What brings you out on the eve of such a unpleasant day tomorrow? Surely you should be at home with your family.
I think you'd say it's a really good question, and wow, that is a nice sword you have. That's impressive. And I have to say, the Temple of Hera is something to truly behold. It's going to turn it on much better than his handler can. He's going to lay it on thick, and then turn to the question of what he's doing out on the night. And he'll say, "I agree. Well, ideally, I'd be home with my family. They have unfortunately all passed. I have no family. Find myself somewhat at a loose end in this city I've really not been in before." And have no abode, like you say, with the inauspicious night arriving. And I'm wondering if either of you have any concept about what I could do about that. Charm, 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 hint, hint, hint.
Well, the comments about this being a very fine temple, and this young woman kind of puffs herself up a little bit and preens a little bit. I mean, you are being quite generous with your comments. This. Check out the amount of creeper and vines on this temple. I mean, Landania is pretty run down as a place, as you can hear. But she really appreciates your comments. Well, thank you, sir. That's very kind of you. Somewhere to stay. Yes. Well, I believe there's some flop house just around the corner. Madam Twin, Twin, I think. Do you have coin?
And I think at this point,
and as she's saying this, she fumbles inside her tunic and is in the process of pulling out a purse.
I think, he'd absolutely be clear he's not taking your money, and it's such a generous offer and matches your lovely countenance. Being careful not to be too charming in that one direction with a big burlesque dog. So definitely would want to be, very complimentary to this large chap who will no doubt overshadow Tarquin particularly. And I think the line of conversation will go something along the lines of, and that's normally where I end up, as the flop house. And any other night or nights, that would be my obvious lot. Just such an inauspicious day tomorrow and tomorrow night that I was wondering if there might be a possibility of somewhere possibly a little more homely, something I've missed for such a large proportion of my very short life. Hint harder. And I think this conversation would definitely be directed at this young priestess.
All right. I think what I'm after here is there are places that take in the poor, and there are temples, and there are, for want of a better term, missionary places. From what you've seen, beggars, etc., don't stay here. So but off camera, Giles, you were saying, what would your character know versus what you would know, which is a fair question. So Tarquin would have picked up that there are certainly places and temples of varying different faiths, old gods and otherwise, that would allow waifs and strays to come and stay. You've now been to the Temple of Hera a number of times, and you've seen people getting healed, and perhaps either for free or for certainly less than the exorbitant amounts that you were charged, maybe. You haven't seen people stay. So what I'm going to ask for is another charm roll, and this one you would have to get. It'd have to be a pretty impressive success. But let's see how you go. But you won't have the minus. Yep.
Can I just check as a point of clarity, Chris? And I think Tarquin would presumably know this. Would he expect priests and priestesses to live within the temple or off-site?
Good, excellent
because
question.
What he's looking to do is get this young priestess to take him home.
Yep.
But if she lives on site, that doesn't kind of work. And it's only just occurred to me he'd absolutely know this. But yeah,
Would
oh,
he? So
yeah,
Tarquin's
you wouldn't.
Tarquin's formal education is amazing. That said, he's actually not that worldly. So he has spent he spent most of his time at his where he grew up, which you and I know a bit about.
Yep.
He has spent a bit of time in the free city of Babylon. I don't
Yep.
think. Did we ever figure out how long he spent there?
Well, we said about a year.
Yeah. Okay.
So quite a long time.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I don't know if he's attended a period there or if he would have.
Yeah.
Most of that time, obviously not working in a.
Yep. And would it be different or whatever? Could you give me a general knowledge roll? I'll give it a plus 10 to the general knowledge, just to see if you would know.
73. I want to save that one for the charm.
73. What's his general knowledge skill, please?
I'm just having a look. I can't remember if he's even got one. I don't think he has a general knowledge skill, Chris.
Okay, so this is a...
he has a local protocol skill.
No. So what's his memory and reasoning added together, divided by 2?
13.
Plus 13. Cool. Plus 10. So, look, he's not sure. He knows from his time in Jedi Babylon, he did become familiar with one of the Arastan's sect, which is the fire worshippers, and those people definitely lived inside the temple. So the priests and priestesses did live inside the temple. His guess probably is there's a good chance they would, but he doesn't know for sure.
He's still going to lay it on pretty hard. Basically say, can I come and stay, with you guys for a couple of nights?
Okay. Give me the roll. And you're wanting very high here.
94.
Plus.
Do I need to remind you? 93.
You had to get 176. You got 187.
Yeah, that's lucky.
Just a minute. That's a success, a critical success. So she turns and glances over her shoulder, and then looks back at this big, handsome guy with a sword, and he doesn't. He's kind of shaking his head, but she kind of ignores him, and says, "Well, I really shouldn't do this, but because the High Priestess, I'm sure, would not be happy. But and she kind of, again, she turns almost for reassurance to this man, and he's not looking thrilled about it, and he's kind of shaking his head, and she says, no, it's peace, Jebon, peace, Jebon. It's the night before New Year's Day. We can't have this young man. What was your name again?
Pfeiffer.
We can't have young Pfeiffer here wandering the streets, and he seems like a nice man. Pfeiffer, if you would come, if you come with me, and if you promise to keep quiet and out of the way, generally the High Priestess, she typically doesn't stir during New Year's Day. She doesn't like it any more than any sane person does. I think you'd be quite. She doesn't typically leave her chambers. I think between you and I, we might be safe enough to find you a quiet place. We have to be quiet. Is that clear?
I promise, and thank you so much.
We can only put you in the main temple. Um, uh, um, I just lost the guy's name. Jarod. Jarod here will keep an eye on you. Jarod, you will look after our guest, please. And she turns to the guard. And it's kind of interesting to see the play. The fact that she actually, apparently, as a member of the temple, seems to have perhaps some more sway over just simply the hired guard. I'm Sister Sasha, she says. Come with me, please. What do you do?
I'd thank her and Jadov profusely, thank them for their hospitality, promise to be quiet, and follow.
Sorry, one thing. You have your short sword?
I'd just take it off immediately.
Okay.
I'd offer it to, I'd say I can either give it to you, Jadov, or leave it here, whatever you like.
I'll take that, he says.
I'll hand it to him.
Okay. Welcome to collect it tomorrow morning, or maybe day after New Year's Day. Yeah. So Sister Sasha takes you inside. And by the way, nice roll, Giles. If you ever needed a 94, that's really good. Having our players can't see it, but I can see Giles's face for a change, and it's nice to see that grin. There you go. Give me a thumbs up. Yes, excellent.
Yeah.
So as you walk inside and you start climbing the stairs, a glance over your shoulder, you see this man, the rather overweight chap, kind of stagger up, and you catch just a fragment of conversation about what was that about. Like, I don't like the look of this. Down from Jarod. That's kind of the last you hear. Sister Sasha takes you up inside the prayer hall. It's lit by a lantern directly above you. In fact, hang on. GM's just going to do this because it might be useful later on. Just one sec. Got most of the map done before we started, but I didn't get a chance to do this. Gives you a chance to have a bit of a think. Oh, there we go. Just gonna Fog of War. Cool. Alright. There we go. Cool. So, Sister Sasha takes you into the prayer hall and takes you to the top of the stairs. And then the two of you walk down 10 foot down into the main prayer hall. And all around you are, as you've seen previously, of course, columns of, statues of the priestess, let me try that again, of the goddess, and various signs of healing and other powerful symbols denoted with the healing arts and prayer and the old god's faith. There's no one else in here. She takes you down and says, look, in a minute or so I can come down with maybe a blanket. Please, the High Priestess likes me, and I want to keep it that way. So maybe if you are found, maybe not implicate me. I wouldn't get in too much trouble, but my preference is thank you. That would be kind. But you're welcome. I can't have
And
I can't have good people like you out on this terrible night.
thank you profusely, and just check maybe the quietest, most out of the way place rather than the middle of the biggest hall here. Might be quieter for me and safer for you. But I'm happy just to be inside, and thank you for your hospitality, whatever you think works.
She says, "Yeah, I see your point." The thing is, my other sisters, they have their rooms. Oh no, I'll tell you where we can go. Come with me. And she takes you up around here. What I'm going to do, I didn't do this before. Real fog of war. She takes you up and she says, yes, you make a good point. Takes you up the flight of stairs and around where you've come previously and into this area here. Go through into this space, and is that going to reveal? Yep, there we go. You can just see there. She says, Sister Janice regrettably passed away not so long ago, and we haven't managed to find a replacement for her role here. I can't let you into her room. That is absolutely forbidden. That is a cardinal sin, to have strangers inside one of the priestess's rooms. But perhaps if you want to curl up in this corner, there's a good chance that you should remain hidden. Or if you just stay out of the way.
I'll thank you profusely. I'll check the offers for 2 nights. I'm not wanting to be on the street on the evilest night of the year. I'll ask her if there's anything I could do other than to be quiet and hide to thank her.
So I'm one of the high priestesses. High sisters here. So if you are disturbed by someone, just simply say, Sister Sasha permitted me to be here, so that's the best thing to say. As I say, I think highly unlikely that the High Priestess will venture out. She doesn't typically leave her rooms on such a horrible day. So the best thing you can do is to remain here. I might be able to find you something simple to eat as well. But please, just remain here and keep to yourself. You might get a few strange looks from the other priestesses, and Gerard will have told the other guards that you're here. You'll see them patrolling at some stage. I'll go and have a word with Gerard now just to make sure he's clear about that. But other than that, please just maybe keep a low profile. Gods be with you.
I'll thank her.
I'll bring you a piece of bedding.
I'll thank her profusely and sit in a small, squashed little space.
Okay.
I'll make myself small.
Okay. Cool.
My presumption from this, Chris, and I'm not going to ask her, is, priestesses are up at night and guards are up and around at night too, all over the place.
She heads
But
away. She heads away. Heads out. This, by the way, in case we weren't clear, that's a solid wall. She heads out, and maybe about 15, 20 or so minutes pass, she comes back, and she says, I've had a quiet word with Gerard. He likes me too. He'll get one of the guardsmen to come and check on you at some stage, and yeah, please don't leave this place. If you're needing the privy, speak to one of the guardsmen. They can escort you to the privy. Here's a blanket for you.
Oh, thank her. Take the blanket and suggest to her maybe if she could take me to the privy now, that should be fine for the night. And if unless that's difficult for her, of course.
No, that's fine. That's fine, she says. And the GM just needs to do this to remind himself of where the privy is.
All this talk of the privy is going to make me regret slurping so much coke.
And I'm going to have a bathroom break as well in a minute. Yeah, here we go. Right. Very good. So she says, no, I can take you there. And she leads you not far, actually. She leads you down here. Down this corridor. Out these double doors. And you find yourself, Tarquin, out onto this covered archway that we described before. Looking down here, there is a solid wall here. And then she takes you down here. And... oh. I thought there's a set of doors there. There's not a set of doors there.
It's fine, maybe to... oh.
No,
if you want to just say there...
No. I want to get my facts straight, Giles. Just a second. Just misread that. Whoops, I just misread my map. Oh, strange. What is that there? Ah, it's the that's what that is. Okay. No, there definitely isn't a wall there. Not quite sure why that up as a wall. Just a sec. GM's just got to get his map straight. Oh. Yeah, that is open, so that's really weird. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why that's showing up as a wall, because it's actually not a wall. I think it might be to do with the fog of war. Yeah, it is. It is. So that's actually that there. You can see... no, you can't see a thing, because I haven't switched it over. There you go. That there isn't a wall.
Okay.
That's actually what it is. It's the two... not that you care, but it's actually the two sets of fogs of war overlapping. So she takes you down. So that's open. If I do that should get rid of it. Anyway, she takes you in here, and there are the bathrooms. So there's a stall there. What else you learn is there's a flight of stairs that goes up there. So there's a walkway that is open down here, and
yep.
There's a walkway.
Does that have a wall at the end, Chris? You'll be able to see down there.
Yes, that does have a wall that end.
Okay. And these are windows, presumably, on the right and left of the internal rooms.
Are
they windows you can see into?
Shuttered. No, they're all shuttered.
Thank you. And do the shutters have walls? And are they shuttered from the side Tarquin's on or the other side? Are the windows locked and are the shutters inside, so the side Tarquin's on? Can he open them, or the other side?
Give me a perception roll, please.
81.
Master, I'm afraid.
Yeah, he knows what he's looking for.
He does. Yeah, look, Tarquin is reasonably sure he's got it. He certainly has a good look at these ones as he goes past, and he glances down here. They appear to be shuttered on the inside, from what I can make out.
Okay. That's interesting.
She waits outside.
I'm not
Tarquin
I'm not taking her to the toilet. Well, unless she's into it. At least she's into it.
She definitely
she's into it. Tarquin will take it.
She's definitely not.
I did not.
Tarquin uses the facilities, and then I'm assuming, unless you tell me otherwise, comes out.
Back, yep.
And then you retrace your steps. She says, I know it's not far, but my preference is, my directive to you, please, is if you are wanting to answer the mother's call, please ask for one of the guardsmen to take you there.
Sure.
I bid you good night.
Got the blanket.
Got the blanket,
awesome.
and I'll bring you down some breakfast. It'll be meager, but some breakfast tomorrow. It'll be a very, very quiet day here tomorrow. You shouldn't see many, if anybody.
What time is it at the moment, Chris?
It'd be around, by the time dusk is 6 p.m, it'd be around 7:30, going on for 8, something like that.
Cool. Okay. And breakfast is normally, it's going to be like sometime between 6 and 9, isn't it?
It'd be, yeah, indeed. It'll be when sunrise happens. Yep. Okay. And with that, she heads off. And I am going to do the same. I'm going to head to the loo, and I'm going to give you a chance to mull over what you want to do. And I will, at this stage, probably do an edit of the video. But I'll speak to you in a sec.
Perfect.
Whenever you're ready, G.
Sorry, Chris.
Right.
Okay.
Right, and we're back. Okay, what happens?
Excellent. So as soon as Tarquin sees her leave, he's going to wait sort of maybe 10, 15-ish minutes.
Uh-huh.
And then what he's going to do is take the bedding. I presume it's pretty dark in this teeny little corner.
It is.
And he's going to shape the bedding and take off his jacket.
Mm-hmm.
So he should be able to make his jacket look kind of like his body. He's going to shape the bedding to be, of a body shape. And I mean, obviously, this is not going to stand up to a close inspection, but with the top of the bedding, as if it was kind of covered over his head.
Okay.
So he'll shape that out in a way that, I mean, obviously, if a guard was to come and give him a kick, he's going to discover he's not there. It's pretty dark. Even if he got pretty close, Tarquin would reasonably expect that to have a chance of fooling someone looking in. I guess if this chap is feeling churlish, he might have a problem. But That's what he would do.
Okay. So
and the next thing he would do.
His coat is his armor, of course. So he's now on. He's now
Yep,
removed.
yep. He's got no armor on. No, that's correct. And then he's going to cast stillness. No, he's not going to cast stillness. That would be a disaster. He's going to cast phantom step.
Okay. So hang on.
So if he casts stillness, he goes into a death-like sleep for 14 hours.
Now, how
not
much,
very helpful.
Now, his phantom face that he put on.
Yep.
How much
he's
longer?
got that for a long time.
How long?
He's got that for an hour and a half. Well, 70 minutes actually.
Okay. Yep.
So an hour 10.
Okay.
And the good thing about this spell is he can cast it again, and it will just take his facial shape again that he had.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm mindful of the fact, Chris, that I'm keeping a very close eye on my PowerPoint.
Okay.
So he will cast Phantom Step, and this essentially allows him to move silently. If he, say, knocked a vase and hit the ground, I mean, obviously that would draw attention to him, but he should be able to, literally walk behind someone. They won't hear him.
Okay.
Just won't hear him.
Cool.
Silent.
Give me a roll for the spell, please. It only fails on a 1 or a 2.
20.
20. Spell goes off. Can I just get the exact definition of the spell, please?
Sure. A caster can move silently so long as he does not cause a sound to originate more than a foot from his body.
Okay.
So I could jump up and down, bang, 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 within 1 foot of my body, and you won't hear me. So I can move silently. But I don't know, if I fired an arrow and knocked something off the wall 2 feet away, you'd hear that, right? And that would draw attention to him.
Cool.
So that's how I understand the spell. And I had a look online. As far as I can see, if someone has kind of magical presence or something, it won't stop him to be noticed magically. Mm-hmm. But and if someone looks at him, it's not like he's invisible.
Sure, got
it. But he should be able to walk past somebody without them, hearing him and turning around, and that kind of stuff.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Spell successful. Okay. What does he do? How long does it last for?
So not long. So what he's going to do to start off with is have a go at getting into these first 2 rooms.
Okay.
So he wants to see if it's easy to get through this door here, the very first one he comes to.
Okay. Give me a roll, please. Just a roll.
75.
75. The door's open.
He's going to glance into the room. He's going to look in and do as much perceiving as he can. He wants to get as detailed a picture of the room without spending too much time.
Quite a distance, by the way. We do have scale on here. The room's 20 by 17, so not a massive space, but not small. Relatively spartanly furnished. There is a bed, no one in it. In one corner, there's a large trunk or chest. In one corner, there's a desk. There's what appears to be a prayer mat in the center of the room, or at least a mat in the center of the room. And there are various religious signs up on the wall and symbols up on the wall. Otherwise, the room is empty. There's a set of shutters, as mentioned, here, and here, which are locked. Oh, by the way, what's his eyesight like? You're right about there being not much in the way of.
He's a half elf. It's very good.
Yep. He can see. He can see a bit. There is light out here. So there's light out in here. Where he's in, so he's almost pitch black. Not quite, but it's very dim. Very, very dim. A bit easier for him to see because he is half elf, but he can't see much.
He would enter this room enough to have a proper look around. So everything you've described, he'd be in there enough to have seen. Yep. He'd be particularly interested in figuring out the shutter mechanism.
Okay.
So can the shutters open or close? And is there glass underneath the shutters? Or if he opens the shutters, does it, is it just an open space, like a void? Which
Yeah,
is
got
kind of
it.
what he,
Give me a roll, please. Let's see about the shutters.
Does he, just Chris, for my technical knowledge, when these rolls unattached to anything, should I be counting them up somewhere?
No.
Just leaving.
No, these are either I roll them or you roll them. These are just the chance of something being what it is.
11.
11. Yeah. So in this case, he goes right up to the shutters. It is open. There is no glass. On one side, there is this lattice work. It's a bit bigger this time. So it's about this. So a person could get through it. A small person could get through it. So there are pieces of stone that would open up so you can see in and light would be able to come in. But there is gaps in between them.
Yep. And are the shutters locked or are they just sort of closed?
They're closed with a clasp, a wooden clasp. You do need to push them up and open them. Yep.
Perfect. Okay. He's going to take a quick look in the trunk.
Okay. All right. I mean, it creaks slightly as he opens it, but not a lot. Inside, there's some clothes. Looks like some robes.
Okay. He's gonna change. He wants to wear them.
Okay.
Good disguise.
Okay. All right. They're robes. Probably fitting a woman, you'd say. Probably about his size.
Cool. Well, he'll slip them on.
They don't smell very good. Just kind of they could definitely. I mean, they're not horrendous, but they could do with a wash.
So can Tarquin probably. He'll slip them on,
Okay.
and he'll move. He's going to go to the door. He's going to perceive. He's looking to see if he can see the guard. Obviously, he doesn't want to step out if the guard is there. So long as he can't see a guard, he'll rinse and repeat for the next room along.
Okay. So give me a perception roll, please.
$17.
Okay. How long did he leave it before he started doing this?
I beg your pardon?
How long did he leave it until he got up and moved?
Oh, it was about 10 or 15 minutes.
10 or 15. Okay. Okay, cool. So he looks out. It's very dark. It's very dark here. There is a little bit of light that comes in from this light source up here. There's a little bit of light that comes in here, but it is, if you imagine, there's a doorway here and here, so that is getting some of that light. There's no sign of anybody out in this area. This area here, by the way, there's a doorway here. There is... Let me just see myself.
That's where he's going next, Chris.
Yep, sure.
Next room along.
Yep, got it. Yeah, doorway here. And doorway here, here, and here. He heads out. Yep. Goes up to the door. The next door is closed. I think.
Is it locked?
Let me just double check. Would have been. Hang on a sec. Let me just check. Actually, this would be a smart thing to. This would be a smart thing to do, Giles, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it, Giles? Wouldn't it?
Bit of chicken.
Bit of checking. There we go. Perfect. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah. This door here is closed. Doesn't want to open.
So it's locked.
Doesn't open. How hard does he want to push it?
It's good. What does it have? Handle? Click, click? Is it just pushy, pushy?
It has a handle. As does the other door, the door that you were in.
You'll turn the handle and see if it opens. I mean, if you push my doors, they don't open because they've got a glass. But if you turn the handle, they'll open.
Okay.
Does the handle turn?
Doesn't.
Is there a lock?
No.
Okay. He's going to cast unlock 1. And what this does is this unlocks mundane locks. So if there's like a clasp on the inside he can't see, for example, you'd expect that to unlock it. But if it's a
what's the description? Read out the description, please.
Caster can cause any mundane complexity lock. You need to decide that to be unlocked or locked. Then it says here, lock is just normally unlocked / locked and can be locked / unlocked normally. I have no idea what a mundane complexity lock is. It says e.g.
Yeah, sorry. Yep.
So it says e.g. sliding bolts is the example it gives.
Ah, okay. Okay.
That helps.
That does help. Okay. Give me a roll, please.
Hang on, I just need to keep an eye on my PowerPoints. Sorry. $42.
That spell is successful. And is that an automatic? Is that an automatic? It doesn't say there's a chance of it happening. It just says it happens.
No. Now, interestingly, if I cast it seems to be automatic. Because if I cast unlock 2,
yes,
then I can unlock anything, but I can also lock it. But it says if I lock it, it depends on how complex the lock is. So if it's very complex, it only has a 20% chance of working, and if it's simple as a 50% chance of working, it doesn't give me any of that stuff for unlock 1. So clearly on simple locks it works or doesn't work, and on more complicated locks it can unlock, but if I want to use the spell to lock it, there's a chance it'll fail.
So
interesting.
You hear the sound of a bolt being drawn back inside.
And so very quietly, keep him within a foot of where he is. He's going to open the door. So he'll push very gently on the door. I mean, he's worried about squeaks and scrapes if somebody is in there, but he definitely wants to get in and take a look around.
Okay. Could you give me a roll to see if there's a squeak?
42 again. That's weird.
Look, the door opens quite freely, and he opens the room, and almost a mirror image of the room that he was just in. There is a woman lying, and very little light, and you're getting further away from the light, so I am going to ask for a perception roll.
$35.
And this will be at a minus because of the lack of light.
Half elf.
Half elf, sure. So definition of vision is as follows. I wrote this down recently. Damn it, I need to come back to that.
Don't worry about it. Just tell me what.
No, well, no, I want to check it myself. Thanks. I'll just check it.
Okay.
Coming. Oh, we don't want it there. Actually, maybe we do want it there, just so we can both see.
Ah, yes. I've actually got some of these with me somewhere.
So he would have the equivalent of half night vision, because he's a half elf. A starlit night can see clearly up to 50 foot. Full moon, he can see clearly up to 250 foot. Interior with artificial light, character can see clearly up to twice the radius of the light source of illumination. They can see dimly up to negative 40 perception roll. So there's not a lot of light here. So yes, he does see a lot better than a normal human, but it is pretty dark. So he looks inside the room. Excuse me. And there is a figure in the bed. The bed is over here. He is. I said it was a woman, and Tarquin thinks it's a woman. And he freezes at the door. However, he thinks that she has her back to him, but he can't be 100% sure. Now, the door didn't make any noise opening, but certainly opening that lock, that bolt, he could hear it from the other side. It wasn't massive, clunk, but there was a kind of click as the bolt slid home. The rest of the room is identical to the other room. There's a chest, there's various religious symbols from the limited vision he has, and there is a small desk and this bed with a person. He's a woman, he's pretty sure. Is she lying away from him, or is she lying facing him? He doesn't know.
He'll slip out of the room, close the door, and cast Locklaw to close the bolt.
Okay. Okay. Give me a roll, please.
Sorry. Is this a Locklaw roll?
Sorry, he's going to cast what, sorry?
Is this for the spell?
Yes.
14.
14. The spell... Oops. Goes off. He's now outside the room.
So we know he knows it's very dark around here, so he'll have a glance around to see if he can see a lantern or a change in the light heading towards the door, any indication that someone might be coming.
Okay. No.
Okay, around the corner, rinse and repeat.
Okay.
Door on the right first. Oh, is that a door on the right?
Yep, there's a door right here. Whoops.
So, yep, he'll check that.
Right
Yep.
there. That is closed, and there is a keyhole.
Does it open?
Doesn't open.
He'll have a punt at picking the lock.
What with?
His dagger.
How?
By putting the sharp point of the dagger into the lock and seeing if you can unlock it.
Okay. All right. You'll have a negative 50 to this roll.
Yep. 7?
Sorry?
7? That's quite a big negative.
7? Yeah, it is. It is, because daggers are really big. And anyway. Let's have a look.
I'm aware of the mechanics. Didn't really get a chance to find a lockpick.
Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough. Hang on.
And his pick lock skill is 48.
Okay. 7 plus 48 minus 50.
It's 5.
It's 5. The light, however, will affect this. The lighting gives you a -10. Oops. Difficulty is that. Okay. -10. Yeah. This lock, and it's a moderately complex lock from what I can figure out, and this is 100% not the implement to be using for it. He just has a mental block on it, and yeah, it's just beyond him. He just doesn't know how to do it.
Sure. Okay, so this does make a difference. When you say you can't say moderate. So, is it a medium complexity lock? I'm sorry, I don't make this up.
Yep, it's a -10. It's a hard lock.
Oh, but so the spell he's considering using is called. It's a hard lock. Okay, yeah, it won't work. Oh no, this is so. So unlock 2 means he can do medium complexity. And unlock 3 that he can't use, it's a level 8 spell, means he can do extremely hard. That helps you.
It's not.
So
it's not extremely hard. It's not medium.
Okay, so in which case he'll kind of know that unlock 2 is probably unlikely to work.
Yep.
So he's simply going to have to move on. He has no mechanism to open that door. And so again, I mean, he will constantly be looking for light, right? So the assumption Tarquin's making while he's close to his bed is that if a guard is coming, he is going to be able to notice the change in lighting because they'll be carrying a lantern. So if a guard comes without a lantern, he'll be caught by surprise.
Yep.
But if he's coming with a lantern, at this point, he would expect to be able to move rapidly and silently back and essentially to get under the bedding. He wouldn't bother taking off the clothing he's wearing.
Okay.
While he's checking out these doors that are close to him. And so he's going to turn around and have a look at the room on the other side.
This one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat. It's locked. It's closed.
Same as the room with the sleeping woman.
Yes.
I appreciate it doesn't know the lock. It just has the same look and feel.
Yes.
Right. And, I just can't run out of PowerPoint. Okay. Look, he's gonna try unlock again. Unlock 1.
Okay. Give me a roll, please.
97! This is not when I need 97. I needed that when I was picking that frickin' lock.
Yep. So there is a very satisfying and you hear a bolt come to, and someone says in Thebronic on the other side of the door, "Who's there? What's going on?"
Male or female voice?
Female.
Can you pan the camera out a little bit for me, please?
Can you give me a perception roll, please? Plus 10 to the roll.
27. His perception is 90.
Yeah.
I think it didn't go up. It might have gone up when I must have increased his perception surely. Where's it gone? General. Yeah, it's 98 now, Chris.
Okay, cool. Could you give me another roll, please?
$62.
Cool. And okay, cool. So he gets 2 pieces of information. The first is that whoever said "Who's that? Who's there?" There's movement from inside the room. That's the first piece of information. And the second piece of information, he hears footsteps. Definitely, according to him, footsteps from somewhere around here-ish.
Okay, he's going to move as quickly and silently. Well, he's still got a silent spell on him. This is
Yep.
Back to his bedding. If he can, silently, he'll slip off the. I don't know if this guard is guard that kind of goes around and clips, but if it is, he can unclip and take it off very quickly and easily, right?
That's just
like me. Okay, well, I think he'd slip it off. He'd go back to his bedding and slip into his bedding and feign sleep. But he wants to do this in a way that he is looking towards where it says open light space, right? So he wants to be able to see if anybody comes, and obviously the robes he has, he's going to absolutely hide. So there's no chance that they can be seen.
Okay. So he gets back here quickly and promptly, and he does have time to whip off the garments that he's wearing. Just as he gets back and pulls off the garments he's wearing, you hear a door opening from around here, and another one saying, "Who's there? Why is my door open?" And at around that moment, you see light coming in through here. Bobbing light. Someone is carrying a moving light.
He's going to lie down and feign sleep.
Okay. A couple of things happen pretty much at the same time. You hear footsteps out around here, and again, who's there? Why is my door unlocked? What's going on? And the sounds of a male voice. What's the matter, mistress? What's going on? And you hear a young woman's voice say, I heard I was lying in bed, and there was a noise, and the bolt on my door was opened. Did you see anyone? No, there was no one there. But it definitely opened. I mean, I definitely closed it, and I definitely heard it opening. I was just lying there thinking about my upcoming tests for the High Priestess, and going over the spells and the correct incantations. I can't think of anything else but at the moment. But then, yeah, I was thinking about it, and then I heard it. It's very strange. And then there's this voice. Well, maybe not so strange. You there in the corner. You awake? Who's that? Says the young woman. And then there's a pause. Soft heart Sasha. There's some beggar in here. You. And there's footsteps coming over towards Tarquin.
Okay. I'm going to cast night vision.
Is it an instantaneous spell?
No.
Okay. So the person is going to be upon you before you cast it. Unless you, unless you cast it instantaneously. You want a chance?
I'll snap cast it.
Snap cast it?
Yep, I do.
Cool. Give me a roll, please. Negative 30 this roll.
36.
36. 36 minus 30. Plus your level is... Oh, do you get base spells? Some professions do, some professions don't. I can't remember if you do or not.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, my base spells are 7.
No, it's actually plus 8 because you're now 8th level.
Oh! I didn't put it up. I didn't realize.
By the skin of Tarquin's teeth, if you'd rolled a little bit less than that,
I can do math. I know how close it was.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking close, man. It was pretty close. That spell goes off. You, and there's a kick, not a violent kick, just as the spell goes off. Not like a kick meant to incapacitate or wound or whatever, but certainly not a gentle tap. A kick in Tarquin's back. You, awake.
Okay, well, I'm lying with my head towards him. He definitely hasn't kicked me in the head.
Oh, shoulder. Like a tap on the, kick on the shoulder.
Yeah, and he will wake up and ask, what's wrong?
What are you doing?
I'm being quiet and small, and he's going to use duping. So I've not used duping yet, ever. He wants to use the duping. So I've got this correct, isn't it? Charm is to kind of essentially persuade. Duping is to fool.
Duping is to lie. Duping is lying.
Duping is so he's going to use his duping skill, and he's going to say, "I'm keeping quiet and small." So does he recognise the person who kicks him?
He does. He saw him walking around before. It's this guy with a lantern. So there is now quite a lot of light in this area. Standing here, behind this man, is this one.
Okay.
So this guy here is got his lantern up in his face, and this woman is standing quite concerned behind him, not wearing a great deal.
He'd make it clear, he's woken up, doesn't like the light, and he'd just say, I'm keeping quiet and small. I'm sleeping. I'm so incredibly grateful to have a rest.
Okay. So with Mark's dice rolls are things that you can kind of see, and I the way I think about this is for charming, you can kind of see how your words are coming out and the effect they have. Arguably, duping's the same, but I'm actually going to say this is, and it has always been, duping has been a masked dice roll. So make a masked dice roll, Giles, and hope for a good roll.
So just so I understand the technical bit of the game here, because it's masked, 0 might be the best roll he can roll, right?
Could be.
And he gets to add his duping skill to the rolls.
So hang on. Here is my. You see that? Here's my masked column. That's the masked result, and there's the real result. So
okay, that's interesting. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
So it could be a 1 could be a very high result. You just just don't know.
Okay. 42.
42.
42 is the roll, and his duping is his most powerful skill at 104.
This guy.
He a good liar.
He is a good liar. This guy is, however, suspicious. So I'm going to call that at a whopping negative 30 because he's suspicious, understandably so. What does Tarquin say? What does Tarquin say?
He'd just be, you've woken me up. What's wrong? What are all these people doing here? I told me it was going to be quiet. Is something going on? What's going on? Why are you kicking me?
Well, this. I mean, he's the guardsman is somewhat taken aback. He turns to him. Oh, I'm sorry, son. You're kind of looking down at Tarquin. This young lady, one of the sisters here, has said that her lock was interfered with.
Okay, and now he's going to use his charm skill, and he's going to lean in towards the guard and say, "They scare me. It scares me how much power they have over you guys. Why would they say that?"
Okay. Okay. You think, by the way, mark down a. Just coming. Mark down an extremely hard success on a duping. That was some good duping. So that's juicy XP.
That's extremely hard, yeah. Which again, that's probably fair. It probably is very hard.
Yeah. So just so you have a sense of, to help you with the game, actually, we'll pause it here. It is just you. In terms of timing, you can see there on a mod, you can see down the bottom, routine is plus 30, 20 for easy, 10 for light, 0 for medium, hard, very hard, extremely hard, negative 30, negative 50 for a sheer folly, and 70 for absurd. So that's for a static. That's for a static maneuver. Yep. And then there are other things that affect it, like lighting and blah 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 blah, depending on the maneuver. For a moving maneuver, same kind of principle-ish applies, but the column looks like that. So it's very easy to do a routine. It's very hard to do an absurd. But it's the same. It's the same metrical on the top.
Interesting. Yep.
Okay, and you want a charm on top of that. Now you do get to see this dice roll. Give me a roll for his persuasion, charm, whatever you want to call it.
16. Hopefully it's enough. Hopefully he's bought the lie, so I don't need too much of it. But he's just doubling down, basically.
Yeah, 16 plus 90.
Oh, now it's back. It's up to 98. Oh, no. Sorry, that's his general perception. No, that's wrong. It's 93.
93. Look, he wasn't totally charming. I mean, what would you... Well, let me have a look here. Yeah, I mean... You're kind of feeling like to kind of win him over, it would take a bit longer. Like he hasn't bought into your usual patter, and you think that actually trying to risk it with a plus 10 for the next roll, it's just you need to deal with this now. But you didn't horribly fuck up. But he says, yeah. What do you mean they've got control over us? Look, mistress. He says, are you absolutely sure you weren't mistaken? Are you absolutely sure you closed your deadbolt? I mean, everybody knows the rules here. This is a rough town, and we're all meant to obey the rules. And she looks a little bit sheepish, and she goes, well, I thought I did. Are you absolutely sure, mistress? Yeah, I'm sure. Well, head back to your room, and I'll come back and I'll wait for you to lock the door. Perhaps you imagined it. I'll come with you. I'll make sure you're safe. And he heads on back. She goes inside, and the door closes.
How long does all of this take, Chris?
Takes call it a minute, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Do you do anything in that time?
He'd settle back down to bed.
Okay.
Obviously, he's keeping his eyes open and he's really looking hard into this open light space. He wants to know if he can see anything, but yeah, back to bed.
Okay. The guard comes over and he says, "Look, the girls here are quite flighty at times. Not always, the best judges of things. They're a bit absent-minded. They spend all this time praying to gods, and he kind of catches himself, or praying to the goddess, of course, as is appropriate. Yeah, and not that I disrespect her, of course, but they spend their time kind of airy-fairy, their minds in the clouds, magic, and all this nonsense. I don't hold with it myself. So look, I don't know. They tend not to have their feet firmly on the ground. Look, son, I believe you, and hey, you're just a young man making their way in the world. I get it, but look, I can't risk any more disturbance. I believe you, but to be fair, this will probably get reported. Come with me, please.
Right. He'll bundle everything up, being very careful to hide the cloak in the bedding so it's hidden, and then he'll follow him.
Okay, what do you do with the bedding?
He'll take it with him.
Okay.
He'll check. Are you taking me to somewhere else to sleep, or shall I leave the bedding here? He'll ask.
I'll take you out the front to see what Gerard said, has to say.
Okay. In which case, I'm just going to take the bedding with me.
Okay. So you head back outside, back up front, and nose-picking guy is no longer there. You don't know where he is. But Gerard, this chap that you saw earlier on, gonna get him into the lights. There he goes. And almost, I think I can do this actually. Ooh.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool. There you go. Anyway, that chap there is sitting. He's got a little stool this time. He's kind of sitting by his stool, idly just kind of picking his nails with a dagger. And he looks up. Yeah, what's up? And the gentleman with the lantern just simply says, "Oh, look, one of the girls got spooked, didn't lock her door properly, and claims that someone was trying to get into her room. This young man says he's got nothing to do with it, and frankly, I believe him. But look, you told me to let you know if anything happens. This is what happened." And Gerard looks up from his dagger. Doesn't give you the friendliest of looks. What's the story?
And Tarquin would simply say, again, he's duping him as hard as he can. I just don't know. I really appreciate the offer of somewhere to be. You tell me how this plays out, and I'll do as you request.
Give me a roll, please. Another duping roll.
Yeah, 85.
Last.
Oh, yeah, crap.
Skill of 101, 104.
104.
Gerard looks you up and down. Look, kind of looks conspiratorially. He says, Albert, head back on your rounds. And the guy with the lantern heads off back inside. And you hear his footsteps heading away. Look, he says, turning to Tarquin, I don't know you. I don't know what you pulled. Don't know what you did with our friend Sasha. These are nice girls, all right? They're here. They're trying to make the world a better place. Blah, blah, blah. They're trying to heal people. We see all kinds coming here. We see the crippled, the lame. Some get healed, some don't. Many come here asking for charity. I just don't want any trouble, okay? I just want... It's a really bad night of the year, and I don't want any grief. Sasha said you can stay, and Sasha has the ear of the High Priestess. Fair enough. But I don't know what's going on with Girly Girl inside, but I'm making a call. Most welcome to sleep out here if you wish. But find yourself a corner and bed down. But I'm not letting you back inside.
Tarquin would thank him profusely, and find a corner.
Okay. Where's he go?
Yeah. Well, there are only two corners. You point to one, and I'll tell you if it's the one he goes to. No, the other one.
Okay. All right.
There is a method. There's a method to my madness.
So I'm not going to move his token all the way down, because if I do, he'll reveal the darkness. But he heads down and he beds himself down.
Okay, and so what he's going to do, Chris, is look damned hard to see if there's any way he can get in, any way he can climb up, if there's going to be any other ingress into the temple from where he is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so, and, he's going to have to be pretty confident he can see something if he's going to pursue it.
Yep. So there is a window. There's a window here. And there is a... Oops. Can we see there? Is there a window there? Maybe there's not a window there. No. There is a window here. It's shuttered. And it's 10 foot above him. Yeah.
I presume you can still see the dude sitting at the front.
Yeah, he's here, and he keeps an eye on Tarquin for a bit, for 10-15 minutes, and then goes back to trimming his nails.
Well, I guess for the next hour or so, Tarquin doesn't really have any choice. He's going to keep an eye on what happens.
Okay.
So it just his well, let's say for the next 40 minutes. So his night vision will remain, but he'll lose his silent depth spell.
Okay. Okay. An hour goes past. We now probably...
Can't be that long for us. It needs to be more like 40 minutes.
Okay.
You'll see why.
Okay, so 40 minutes passes. The large guy that was picking his nose before has come back twice. He seems to be doing laps of the building. And then this guy with the lantern, and this chap here has a lantern as well, has come out. They've had a couple of quiet words, and then the guy with the lantern has gone out and is doing laps as well. The large man goes inside. It happens over the span of 40 minutes.
He sees no other guards?
At this stage, no.
Okay, so I guess he's going to take his bedding and as quietly as he can, following the darkest path he can, because of course he can see.
Yep.
He's going to head out and try and find a dark spot that's in this larger square, somewhere he can dump the bedding and the robe.
Okay.
And then what he's going to do as a recce, he wants to see how many guards he can see. He's going to try and time how they're doing their circuits. He wants to kind of see what's going down here.
Okay, sure.
This going to be from the outside.
So, with his silence still on,
with his silence will still be on, and night vision, yes, a half an hour in. Yep, we're good to go.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's quite dark here, but once you get to there, you can see the brazier, of course. So it does become light there.
Yep.
So
he'll need to head out into this open space, because there's only two braziers. I mean, and it's nighttime, unless it's the starriest night and all of the gloom that was there when he headed down. He's described it as a gloomy night.
Yep.
So I expected it all to be reasonably black.
Okay.
And he'll just be looking for somewhere that he can essentially hide the clothes, the bedding and the cloak.
Okay.
He'll be looking to come back to them. And then he's going to essentially do a recce around the building. He wants to count the number of guards, where they are, and try and keep an eye on, what sort of rotations they're taking.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you don't need a stalk roll for this because you're silent. The chap with his nails He could probably, you would imagine he could probably see a shape here, but probably not much more than that of you. So he may notice the shape is gone if he looks hard enough. But at the moment he's not. You choose your moments, you slip down here, you get down to about here. There's some baskets and some detritus and some other rubbish, I guess, around by the bank of the canal that you think might suit as a place to dump the bedding.
Yep, okay, let's drill hide it.
Okay. Cool. And what does he do now?
Well, so essentially he wants to do a recce, a 360, and what he wants to do, number of guards, any places there might be to enter it down through the front door, you know, how, if he can keep an eye on, you know, how frequently the guards are coming around, you know,
cool.
How does he get back into this place tomorrow or the next day?
Yeah, sure. So he does the rounds. How long does he spend doing this?
Okay, so he's quiet for about 20 minutes. His night vision works for about 20 minutes. So he's going to... Can he get around this building in 20 minutes reasonably easily?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, so he'll be looking to be back with his bedding and the thing within 20 minutes.
Okay.
Because, you know, that makes life easy, and I think then we can start again.
Okay. So, on his... So he makes his way round, and he sees the chap with the lantern again. Gets all the way around here, and there is another... He sees around this side, someone he hasn't seen before. This guy here is also, he's not walking around, he's just kind of propped up. And he's sitting here. About there. Just on a little stool.
Yep.
Does Tarquin continue going around?
Yeah, he wants to give him a wide berth, obviously.
Sure. Gets to hear anything he's doing as he comes through the light of the brazier and about to round the corner?
What is, how does he avoid the light of the brazier?
You tell me.
Well, I can't see what this is in front of the brazier. It just looks like a kind of greenish smudge.
That's, as mentioned, that's the canal.
Okay, can he climb down and walk through the canal so he doesn't have to go through the light of the brazier?
It's a 10-foot drop.
Or is it like
it's a sheer drop down to water.
He's not going to walk through the light. He'll look to creep back around the building.
Okay.
He'll take a good hard perception before he heads back to see what he can see.
Yep.
But he'll be looking to go back around. He's not going to walk through the light.
Okay.
And I guess he'll take a good hard look at that funny guy again on the way around, the new one, just to see if there's anything else he notices.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Give me a perception roll if you like.
No is fine. If that, Chris, that's totally fine.
Okay. He gets to about here. Is night vision still on? Yeah.
If it's within the 20 minutes, then yes.
Yes, it would be. So he sees very clearly that the guy who was sitting at the stool with his nails and the rotund guy that was... oops. Damn it. I just lost him in the gloom. But the two of them are standing there where Tarquin was.
Okay, he's going to move his... how much of his 20 minutes has he got left?
Maybe 5? 10?
Yeah, has he got enough to go collect his stuff and get back out here into the darkness? Essentially, he's going to hit it. He wants to get the bedding. What he really wants to do is get the bedding in the cloak. He doesn't want them to be found, and he wants to head back. He's done for the night.
Okay. So he can move silently. If that's still the case.
Yeah, but I can just cast it again. I can cast night vision and phantom step again.
Okay.
To give him a whole bunch of time.
So he's probably got.
He's probably got
enough time to get to the cloak and the bedding, which he put there, what he would need to make a perception roll. A stalking roll from being seen. Now he's in the gloom; it's hard to see.
Yep.
But there is a chance that the people here, the two men here, could possibly see him. There is a pillar in the way, but they're not static. They're moving around, and they've come out. They're in that area, so they could possibly see him. If you want to risk it or not.
I 100% want to risk it.
Cool.
So here's another question for you, though, Chris. If he casts darkness, this will all become black. Will it become wildly obvious? I don't know how dark it is to the people, those people that this big dark blob has just appeared.
Yeah. If you imagine that, you can see there the light from the brazier, the light from the lantern at the start, and the light here. That's not as far as the light goes. It obviously goes out a bit further than that. And there is, of course, light from the rest of the city as well. It's not pitch black.
It will be ambient light, yeah.
Ambient light.
Well, I'll put it another way. Right, from where I live, in the middle of town, basically, there's a whole bunch of ambient light. But in reality, if someone made a circle of pitch blackness 50 or 60 feet away from me, that was 20 or 30 feet big, I wouldn't notice it, even if I looked at it. But also, I'm not a gun.
Right, so you're asking here, they might notice. And depends how large it is.
Yeah, clearly. Yep. Well, you can see where I'm going. Am I better to run the risk into a stalking roll, or am I better to cast darkness? And on balance, I think I'm better to cast darkness. So the first thing Tarquin's going to do is recast night vision and recast phantom step.
Cool. Give me a roll for both those. They only fail on a 1 or a 2.
Some points it'll go wrong, but that's 43.
Success.
And 85. Why can't I save my good rolls for when I really need them?
That's the first one, and then the second one. Yep.
Yeah, so it was cool. So that takes the time thing out of it, so he can move slowly. Yep. He's not going to cast darkness, so he'll move as slowly and cautiously as he can. He'll keep himself as little as he can. He'll use all of these stalls as much cover as he can.
Yep.
He'll go get his stuff, and then he's going to head back again in the most inconspicuous way possible.
Understood, but he left the belongings.
I'm happy to roll it. Yep.
So you're going to give me a stalk?
Yeah. So he'll need a stalk and hide, will he? Yep.
Yes, please.
52, and his stalk and hide is. Hang on, I very rarely use this. I know he's got stalk and hide. So stalk and hide is 62. I should have increased that when he went up. Never mind.
Sorry, the
62.
roll was how much? Sorry.
52. It's 114 all up.
Yep. 52. Okay. 52.
Oh, unless it's must.
Yeah, it is must. It is must. Because you don't know how successful you are at stalking. All right. Yeah. I mean, the two guys are speaking over here. He uses these stalls as cover, gets to here, checks the coast as clear as he thinks it can, and slinks out as a shadow into the night. Grabs the
everything, bedding and cloak and everything.
Just as he's picking it up, there's a pause in the conversation, and he thinks for a second. Oh my God, I've been seen. And then you can hear their voices chatting off in the distance, and he slinks back with his possessions back into cover.
Lucky. And now essentially he's going to creep as well. So what he's going to do now, because he's got another 70 minutes, he's going to find one of these stalls. Essentially, that's if you go due north, but hide behind one of the stalls.
Yep.
Right. He's going to spend 45 minutes so keep going. And now hide him behind those stalls, Chris, not in front of him. Yep, so somewhere around there, whereas as well hidden as he can be. And he's just going to spend a whole bunch of time looking, let's say about half an hour, looking hard to see what he can see. Are guards rotating at a particular rate? Does anyone open any windows? Is there any other obvious ingresses? And then he's going to rinse and repeat, basically. But he's going to rinse and repeat from the corner, so we can see the last two walls.
Okay. Last two. What do you mean?
You see, there's these stalls over here. Yep, those ones. So he's going to look for somewhere over there where he's going to try and be able to both look at the wall where he was close to, but also look down and along this fourth wall where he saw the guy. Because what he wants to know is that guy going to basically stay there? Is the guy moving? Okay. Right, so he's going to spend half of his night vision time. So probably he'll probably get a reasonable view from there, won't he? That's,
could you give me could you give me a hide roll, please? Again, mast, and obviously definitely a bonus because you're in the shadows.
37.
And yep, it's bonus.
62 is the stalk and hide.
Okay.
And he gets 350 for being in the shadows, right, Chris?
Okay. Okay. So, he waits there quite a bit, and he again sees. I won't move the counter. Oh, maybe I will move the counter.
Yeah,
he again sees the large man walking around here. With the large man is somebody else that he hasn't seen. Is another person he hasn't seen. Oops, why is that not? There we go. Is this guy. And the three of them, so 1, 2, 3, connect up. The chap, the large guy, has a lantern, and he is out, definitely looking and peering out. Doesn't spot Tarquin, you'll be pleased to know, but he is definitely looking. So are the other guy with him, and the three of these people converge here. This guy gets off his stool, and the three of them have quite an animated conversation. And there's pointing, and there's a lot of pointing towards the front of the temple, and there's a lot of pointing, and all three of them are looking around quite a lot.
Yeah, so what I want to know, Chris, is would Tarquin know? I mean, obviously tomorrow is the most miserable day of the year. Do these guards stay home? Do these guards come out? How does this work?
He doesn't know. Tarquin would not know.
He spent a year in the Free City. He will have experienced this night in a city. What happened in that city on this night?
Tarquin was at home.
Okay.
They're definitely quite animated about something.
He's going to head home for the night.
Okay. All right. He's found his way here by himself once. I'm not going to ask you to make a memory check. He makes his way home. And going on quite late, probably about 10 p.m., he finds his way back to... going through... Oh, it's the city, by the way, is looking a bit better than this. It's probably a bit more...
Yep.
Okay, and now, what's he doing for the after his recce?
So he's home. He's going to slip into bed, get a night's kit.
Okay.
Super bright and chipper in the morning.
Okay.
He's not going to take out his robes that he's acquired.
Okay.
He's just going to take out his daggers, short sword. He's going to leave his rope behind. Not going to bother about his bow. He's in search of his contact Talia, the underworld contact. I mean, he's mindful this is the grim day of the year.
Yep.
And so he'll be keeping to the shadows, keeping a good lookout. He doesn't really want to cross anybody else's path.
Okay.
And he's going to look in the haunts that they've met before.
Sure. Okay. So just for people's benefit, so first and foremost, he slinks his way home. He gets home without any great issue. There are very, very few people on the streets. Very few people. He slips in. He does. Yeah, talk me through this. What do you think the party would do when they? I mean, party would have noticed that Tarquin was missing. And would they have locked the doors?
It's a good question.
I think they would have.
No, you're probably right. I mean, he'd try and get in without waking them. He'd try and climb through a window. He'd look for another
the windows were smashed and then they were repaired.
Right, they're going to be up on the third floor too. I mean, there's just no way he's going to hear them. He knows there's planking on the way up, so he'll be wanting to get up onto that planking and get up and along and in if he can. And if he can't, he'll find if he's got bedding, he'll just find a quiet little spot down on the ground inside this compound and go to sleep.
I mean, he could wake them. He could throw something up there or alert them if he wanted to. I'm happy to say that there's some way for him to alert his companions.
Okay, in which case, if the door is locked, he'll do that.
I think it would be fair to say we're playing here without other players in the party, but I think it would be fair that they would have locked the door. They will and most likely would have quizzed Tarquin. So when we next join up the main group, we can come to that. We can role play that out. He beds down. It's late when he gets back, but not super late. It's maybe 10:30 perhaps, something like that. He fields some questions from his fellows, gets inside, gets to bed. Next day, he gets up. Now, for viewers and listeners' benefit, this is Year's End's Day. So earlier, about a month ago, there was the Festival of Cold Moons. And the Festival of Cold Moons, most people consider this the day, which the elves called Charamaras, to be a dire one of ill omen and ill spirits. The somber quiet festivals held each year on this night are full of rituals to ward away evil and to think about loved ones and to appreciate one's living family and friends. The elves, however, see this night as a night of rejuvenation and birth and good omens, not bad omens. They also hold festivals on this night, but they are celebrations of life and joy. That was a month ago. Today, the day that you're describing is Year's End's Day, which is the 30th of Year's Ends. And to describe this day, if the Festival of Cold Moons is a dire time, Year's Ends is worse. It is considered wholly unlucky day with no redeeming value, as the luck and goodness of the year has all been used up. No marriages, no celebrations, and no meetings are ever scheduled on New Year's Day. Most people stay home. Shops usually closed. People on the streets hurry to their destinations lest the ill luck of this day cause them some misfortune on the way. Some say children born on Year's End's Day are cursed. So this is the prevalent culture. This calendar is the prevalent culture throughout, not all of this world, but through the majority of it. So the Empire of Thumazal certainly abides by it. Kingdom of Thrace, most of the seven seas, and certainly Landania does. Can you remind me what does he do in terms of preparation, and tell me what he does for the day?
So short sword and daggers.
Yep.
No rope.
Yep.
He will have, and essentially nothing else. He's got his normal clothing.
Yep.
And he's out to try and find Talia.
Okay. Cool.
He's going to be moving reasonably slowly and really keeping an eye out. He sees anybody, he's going to avoid them like the plague,
Okay.
unless he knows them and knows they belong to this kind of underworld.
Okay, sure. So... Okay, so first and foremost, I'm not going to ask him to make a roll as he did last night. He's found his way back to the river, which he's now done. So he's fey enough to do that. Where does he go?
He goes to places where he's met Talia before, to see if she's there initially.
Okay, sure. So just please have some patience as I try to... There we go. So unfortunately my my image software didn't want to behave itself as I hoped. So what I'm doing is I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to do this old school. Yeah, that worked. So the place that
It's mostly in the market district.
Yeah, that's right. So he walks his way here. The streets are dead. There is no one. He might have seen maybe no one. Slight exaggeration. He might have seen maybe 3 or 4 people. They're moving very, very briskly, and they keep their heads down, and they look as though they're expecting a thunderbolt from the heavens or a stone to drop on their head or something. He sees 3 people in the entirety of his 3/4 of his hour walk from the safe house all the way through to here, the market district. The market looks absolutely nothing like this. There is no one. Here, all the stores are closed.
Okay, which is closer to the market district, Waterfront or Crimson?
The waterfront.
So he'll head down there next.
Okay. Just coming. There we go. Familiar scene.
Yep.
A little bit more life down here. There are a couple of ships in the pretty dismal Landania harbour, and there are a few sailors, maybe foreigners who don't believe in this superstitious nonsense, up on board ships. But it's very quiet, very, very quiet.
Does he recognise anybody?
Give me a roll, please.
$39.
No.
Okay. And this, he'll move through the waterfront district and head up to the old quarter.
Okay.
Which is closer, the old quarter or the Crimson district?
Crimson.
In which case he'll head there first.
The Crimson district is red light entertainment district. A little bit busier. There are 2 or 3 people about. It's still very early in the morning, so you suspect maybe they're kind of shambling home from the night before. Doesn't see any working girls, but there are a few more people around on the street.
Do you recognise anyone?
Miro?
Worse, 26.
No.
Are there any open shops or red light brothels?
Yeah. there is a there's one place that's still open. He does remember it from his trip to the red light district. Now, remember, he was only here for 3 weeks, so he doesn't know the city well. But yes, he does remember the stall. It's run by a Confederation of the Sun Kush, so one of the Easterling people. And they typically don't abide very much by this calendar. They have their own calendars, and this calendar is, frankly, they don't pay this, frankly, any mind. And there's a pretty wizened elderly man sitting there preparing bits of dead meat on a stick over a small brazier, sticking them in what could loosely be termed bread, and selling them to try and hopefully sell them to anybody that's walking past.
Not a brothel then.
No, you said either a shop or a brothel. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. The brothels definitely aren't open, but there is a shop open, or a street small.
Jolly good. So Tarquin will go up, and he'll be looking to have a little bit of a chit chat to him. How business is going, what's going on here, check him out, see how friendly he is. And so long as he's not completely surly, he'll be seeing if he knows Talia and where Tarquin might find him. Her. Tarquin might find her.
You buy? It's good meat. It's good meat. It's good meat. You buy?
Yeah, how much?
For you, my friends, you, 1 copper. Is good?
1 copper.
Is breakfast.
Oh,
Is breakfast. Is good breakfast.
Worse left than a beer. It might be worth 1 copper to me if you know where Talia is, and I find her.
Who, Talia?
No, you don't know Talia?
No. Who Talia?
No breakfast. No
is
breakfast.
She with the big
Billy? She pregnant? Is that what you're asking me?
No, she has she big. She well endowed. Yes, you say?
I don't know, Chris, because you don't give me a physical description of her.
No, she's not.
Right. No, I say no, thank you. And so I think it's
you buy is good. You buy is good. Breakfast.
No.
For you, 12 copper.
12.
Oh, 12 tin. 12 tin. No.
So he'd say
15 tin.
Thank you very much. He'll pull out 2 tin. That's the price of 1 beer. He'll give it to him.
Okay.
And he'll say to him, I'll be back.
No, you eat.
If
You eat. It's good. It's good. It's breakfast. You like breakfast? It's good breakfast. It's good breakfast.
You find Talia. I replace it with 2 copper. No breakfast. And I'll walk away. I'm going to give him the money. Don't want the food.
Okay. He keeps trying to give you the food. You eat. It's good. It's good breakfast.
He'll laugh and smile. He'll be his charming self, but just utterly disinterested.
Okay.
And he'll be looking to see if there's anywhere else that's open or people he might know. Let's talk to him.
Street's quiet.
Okay. And so from here, he's going to loop up to the old quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And in particular, he's going to happily, tootle on into the shadowed alleyways, not really minding if he gets too lost for a while. He's looking for someone who might know Talia, and he's looking for contacts. He'll have his daggers at the ready.
Okay.
And he's going to see what he can find out.
Okay.
Obviously, he'll be on about as high alert as he can be.
Okay.
So he'll be perceiving like crazy, aware of the potential risks.
Okay.
But he also knows that this is with thieves and this is the underbelly of the town.
Yep.
So there are people who really might know him, and he'll also be particularly looking out for someone he might know or recognise for obvious reasons.
Yep. Sure. So he's heading along some of these back streets. I wonder if my software is going to work and he hears some singing. Quite strange on this day.
Does he recognise the language?
Yeah, it's Thebronic.
And is Thebronic the language of the guards and the people?
Yeah, it's one of the common languages here, yeah.
But he's going to want to try and figure out who's singing. But he wants...
There's someone coming towards him. He can hear someone singing and coming towards him.
Does he recognise him? Does he look drunk?
Hasn't seen him yet, but he can hear someone coming towards him. And
Does he sound drunk? Does
Sorry?
he sound drunk? Does he sound drunk?
He does, yeah.
Tarquin will wander out to meet him.
Okay.
Hands in his pocket, one hand on a dagger.
This man.
Oh, he's gonna,
He's got a
you know,
bottle in his hands, swaying from side to side.
yep, turn on the charm, greet him jovially, ask him how he's doing on this often not so fine day.
Far off! Who the fuck are you, boy? Pretty boy! Pretty boy!
And he'll fuck off.
Elf! You're an elf? No? Don't like elves. Don't like elves.
Tarquin's going to leave him to it. He'll step to one side and let the man pass.
He spits in Tarquin's direction. Not at Tarquin, but in his general direction.
Yeah, he's gonna let this person walk past, so he's past them.
So he kind of turns and starts staggering up.
Oh, is there anyone else around, Chris?
No, it's quiet.
Okay, yep, so he's gonna let him walk past.
He comes up to Tarquin. Alf, are you an
Tarquin-
elf? Are you actively trying to put some distance between you?
No, Tarquin will step to one side and step around him, you know.
Okay.
Don't want to talk to you, that's fine. Didn't mean to upset you. On your way,
You
my
elf,
apology.
boy. You elf.
Around him. He won't engage in this conversation, he'll just slink around the outside of him.
Okay. He's definitely faster than this man, if he wants to leave him behind.
I'm aware of that, yep.
Does he want to do that or not?
What Tarquin is trying to do is have this person carry on, be behind him, then he's going to stick a dagger through his throat.
Okay.
Right? Tarquin does not take kindly to drunk idiots accosting him. That's why he wants to know if anybody else is around. And he's got daggers in his hands, one each side, into his throat, forward motion, cut him and leave him to bleed out.
All right. So what
But he'll only do this, Chris, if he can get this person to go past him, so he's behind him, and he's definitely kind of lost interest like drunks do in his,
Yeah,
daggering on.
All right. So first and foremost, can you give me so the alleyway he's in? You said that you wanted to go into the back alleyways where he's a bit lost. So he's yeah. So it is definitely very quiet apart from this guy. It's a T intersection that you're in.
Yep.
And there's no, there are windows around you. They appear to be closed or shuttered, from what you can see. But give me a perception roll to see how well you perceive what's going on. Master.
53.
53. Cool.
And he's
Lovely.
98, remember?
Yep. Okay. Tarquin is pretty confident that there is no one else overlooking them. There's certainly no one else on the street. There's certainly no one else. So there's a T intersection like this. You're about. Can you see the camera? About, if that's the T intersection, you and this person are a little bit down from the T, so a little bit further down. Definitely looking down the direction that you can see. There's definitely no one on the street, and having a glance around you, Tarquin is pretty convinced that there is no one around.
In terms, he walking towards the top of the T, Chris.
Sorry.
Is Tarquin's direction of travel up towards the top of the T?
Yes, it was. It was.
Yep. And so the drunk man's walking down away from the T.
Correct.
And presumably came from the right or the left.
He came from the right.
Okay, thank you.
In terms of getting around behind him, in a combat situation, it'd be hard. In a normal combat situation, it'd be hard because obviously the person is tracking you. This person appears to be pretty drunk. So what I'd like you to do, please, is to make a moving maneuver. He's still trying to follow you and still trying to engage you. So it's not going to be totally simple. But if you roll a medium maneuver, successful medium maneuver, and this is this is I'm losing my words tonight. All or nothing. So you either succeed or fail. You can always keep trying, of course. You do it or not. So give me a medium, please. Based on
what do I want to roll?
On your agility. Based on your agility.
So I rolled a 61.
Yep. What's the skill?
My agility is 30.
30. My God, he's good. 91 was the result.
He's a slippery liar.
He is a slippery liar.
How did I end up making a slippery liar, Chris?
I don't know, Giles. I don't know. So he's pretty lithe on his feet, and also this guy is pretty slow. In this particular engagement right here, right now, Tarquin, you've got a 70% chance this round at getting behind him. Give me a roll. If you roll under 70, you're directly behind him.
Oh fuck, 79.
79. Okay. So you kind of dance around each other, and he's kind of, you're off, boy, and he does have that rather meaty-looking axe in his belt, and he's kind of not quite reaching for it, but you're an elf boy. He's not being aggressive necessarily, but he's kind of following you around. You can try again if you wish, or do something else.
And I'm going to try once more.
Okay.
Except, yeah, I'll try once more, yep.
Okay. Just 1 second.
Oh.
Thank you. Just one tick, just to set things up. Cool. Give me a roll. Same process.
I rolled a 4.
Oh. Can you roll again, please? Do you slip over? Do you break your neck doing this?
That would suck. 57.
4 minus 57 plus 30 is a negative 23. So the good news is you don't slip, but you don't manage to do this very well. You have a 5% chance of getting in behind him. Give me a roll, please.
I've got to roll what, under 5?
Yes.
5 or under?
Yep.
Yeah, no, 93.
So again, you try to slip him behind him, but he kind of swings. Why are you running, boy? Why are you not speaking to me? He's getting a bit more aggressive now.
I'm going to just wander back off up towards the top of the T and leave him to it. I'll be walking kind of, keeping a very close eye on him as well as keeping an eye on what might be at the top of the T.
Okay. As you walk past him, he takes a swing at you.
So I've already got one hand on a dagger.
Yep.
That's in my pocket. I'm going to put my other hand on my dagger and I'm going to drive them both into his throat.
Okay, let's see.
I'm going to jump him.
Let's see if he punches you first.
Oh, yeah, if he hits me, it'll be a different matter.
Unlikely, to be fair to say. At a pretty hefty negative. So I gave him a negative. I gave him a negative 50 in his state, right? Like he is reeling all over the place. But He rolled a 94.
I get hit.
He, like, it was the proverbial. Oh, hang on a minute. No, I just want to absolutely double check this. Yeah, no, that's absolutely correct. 100% correct. It would have been a C. But it turns... He actually did you a critical. I don't believe that. 10 and an A. He actually punches you quite hard. So it is the absolute classic drunken roundhouse swing. Like, it's just this complete and utter loose swing. And he happened to roll well. Rolling the critical on Tarquin. I'm going to roll it in the chat. Exclamation mark R space D100. 68. Yeah, he knocks you pretty hard for another 2 hits. Poof. Ow, God, that hurt. And Tarquin, you're stunned 2 rounds.
What does that mean? Describe.
This round you can't act. Next round you can't act.
Okay. Well, I guess I just can't act. What happens for the next 2 rounds?
So, what you can do... stun number of rounds. For this number of rounds, the target may not attack. They may only parry with half their OB. The only other action that are allowed are movement and maneuver, both at negative 50. So you can't attack. You can move, or you can do an action that would require less than 50% action.
I mean, the reality is Tarquin's going to give himself distance. And obviously he'll defend himself if this guy has another go at him.
Okay. Does he draw his weapons?
Yeah, I think he'd draw a short sword.
Okay.
Oh, would he? Yeah, no, I think he'd just give himself distance at this stage. If the other guy draws his axe, he'll draw a short sword.
Okay. He gives himself... He backs off. Tarquin backs off. Backs and retreats. That's the end of that round. Next round... So Tarquin's action last round was to back off, kind of keeping his hands up, warding this guy off. Next round, he comes up... he doesn't swing, but he's just kind of abusive and elf boy, point at your head, fuck, elf boy, and he then just kind of vomits a little bit, and a bit of vomit comes out of his mouth, kind of close to Tarquin, and he kind of looked like he was about to swing this round, but doesn't. Anything else for and Tarquin's turn this round? What does he do?
Well, he's still stunned, right?
He is.
He'll back off again.
Okay.
Can you just tell me when I'm in the top of the T?
Sure. One more, probably another 20 foot, and you'll be at the top of the T. It's the end of that round. You are now no longer stunned. Initiative, rolling initiative. Tarquin goes first. What do you do?
You draw my short sword and attack him.
Okay. Drawing is a 20% action. You attack him with the remainder.
Yep. Oh, no, I've never quite got this parry thing worked out here, right? It's, so he'll attack him with, so 20's got, what, 80? And I'm going to ask you for a little bit of advice because I've never used parry, but I think with this 80, probably 60-20, this guy's drunk as drunk. He wants to to get him. Does that seem reasonable to you, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, so what is Tarquin's offensive bonus? What does he have with short sword?
So his short sword skill is 75.
Okay. So what is 20% of 75?
Okay, well, that's good. 7.5.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah. So minus 15? Yes, that's all right.
Yep.
So you've got 61 to play with. It's kind of your call on whether you go all in with that 61 or whether or not you spend some of that 61 on blocking a possible attack from this guy.
I think I'm going to go all in and just have a go at him.
All right, done. So you attack with 61.
Roll.
1 second. Give me a roll, please.
26.
26 plus 61. This guy doesn't get a DB. He's too intoxicated. He really just doesn't. 61. Oh, sorry. What was the roll?
26.
26.
87.
Fantastic. So you hit him, and he screams in pain loudly. It's 12 in an A puncture. Roll the A, please. Hit him pretty hard.
He's young and angry. I think he needs a bit of therapy, Tarquin. It's
What's the roll?
63.
63. You cut him across his forearm. He's bleeding, and he takes another 2 hits. Bastard elf! He says, and draws his hand axe and takes a swing.
Agile Tarquin versus the drunk. He's got me once. We do you again.
He has got you once. I mean, that was a very lucky shot. And he had a very hefty minus to it. And Tarquin's only defense is his quickness, his ability to leap out of the way. That's the only thing he's got. He didn't parry. Are you now regretting not parrying, Giles?
This is life. Life, you make decisions. Even role-playing life.
Colossal swing and misses you by a mile.
And Tarquin's going to... Oh, it's the end of that set.
That's
I don't know who has an active this one.
That's the end of that round. Next round's rolling initiative. Tarquin, not perhaps surprisingly, goes first again. What do you do this round?
He's all in, 100%.
100%, all in. Tarquin's wanting you to end it soon. Give me a roll.
63.
63 with plus 73, we said?
Just short sword 75.
75. Cool. And a 63 for the roll. No DB. This guy. That is a very unpleasant, for him, 24 and an E slash. Give me the roll.
20. Just keeping an eye at 24, did you say, Chris?
24 and an E slash, yes.
And the E slash is 53.
53. Hit him in the chest this time. He's bleeding a lot from that injury. Another 6 hits, and yeah, you hit him hard. And there is, you nicked him on the arm, first shot. You cut him quite deeply across the chest, and his chest now, you can see that vest that he's wearing, the entire thing is just now red. And he just kind of, he just stands there looking kind of stupid. You fucking elf boy, cut me, elf boy. Gonna gut you for that, elf boy. And he just kind of...
You did that a little bit too well, Chris.
Years of practice, Giles. And he just staggers around. He doesn't attack you this round. He's kind of waving the hatchet around. And that is the end of that round. Next round. Initiative. Rolling initiative.
Can I ask you a question, Chris? And this is a technical question about how the game works.
Yeah.
So ideally, what Tarquin's going to try and do here is essentially keep him alive, but have him completely incapacitated. Right? He's going to attack him. So the best outcome for Tarquin is to have him completely incapacitated, so we can then murder him. And you'll see why if that happens. The next best outcome is he dies in battle.
Okay.
Not Tarquin, obviously.
Sure.
But the drummer.
Sure. So, I think I've mentioned this before, but if not, you can roll to subdue in this game. So, you can modify any attack that you make. Oh. Strange, we just lost Giles. Oh, we just lost you there for a second.
Don't know what happened there.
That's very, very weird. Just make sure we're still recording. Yes, we're still recording. I have no idea what happens. No idea what happened there. Hang on, I'll just
Your camera is on.
Yes, it will be because here we go. Hang on, and cool. Not quite sure what happened there. The recording is still going. Yes, it is. So, I was just describing attacking to subdue. So long as you inform me before you attack, you minus 20 to your shot, and you can then modify your attack to make a non-fatal attack. So, in other words, even if you roll a 98 or a 66, which is usually deadly in this game, you can mitigate a shot that would be considered deadly down to just simply unconscious. The only exception to that is rolling a natural 100. If you roll 100, that's an accidental kill. So your call if you want to minus 20 from your roll, and it is Tarquin's turn first, by the way.
So him being unconscious isn't any good either, really. He wants him to be conscious enough that he can talk to him, so he will definitely subdue him if he can get him, so I guess I'm going to rank order even slightly. You'll see why in a sec, hopefully. So subdued and conscious is better than subdued and unconscious is better than dead.
Got it.
If I had to rank order them, and I will do the subdue gig.
Okay. But okay, cool. So if you get something that could knock him unconscious, you have the potential of trying to keep him awake, basically, if possible.
Cool.
All right, cool. So negative 20. It is Tarquin's turn. What does he do with his 10 seconds?
He's going to use all 100% to attack him, with the idea being to subdue him completely and keep him alive.
Cool. And it was 75, so negative 20. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Cool. So you're attacking with a 55. Give me a roll.
65.
65 with a 55.
Nice round, 120.
Yes, it is, because he doesn't get his DB. Fully get that you want it to keep him alive, so he takes 24 hits and collapses.
This guy takes a lot of hits. 24.
No, he doesn't. He does not. And he definitely goes down. He's unconscious.
Okay. So I guess Tarquin will see he's unconscious.
Sorry. Roll the 20. I hadn't quite finished that. Sorry. And I should have put the battle music on. Never mind. 24. That was 24 and an E. Another massive E on this guy. Can you roll, please, the E critical?
Wow. I rolled a 1.
1.
Oh, I know I've rolled it wrong, I think. Oh, how do I tell if I've rolled it wrong? Maybe I haven't rolled it wrong.
Let me have a look. I'll have a look.
No, I think I've rolled it right. No, I think I've rolled it right.
Yeah, have you just rolled a 1?
Yep. Got to roll a 1 occasionally.
Yep.
Better now than spellcasting.
You do him another 3 hits. He collapses to the ground unconscious.
Okay.
Or dead, you're not quite sure.
Okay, but he's not going to have a go at me. Okay, so the first thing Tarquin's going to do is look around, perceiving his hardest health, make sure he can't see anyone.
Okay. A second. Okay. And give me a roll, please.
97.
Shame it's masked.
No bother. You didn't need to say that.
Plus a very good... Yeah.
98.
Yeah. So mark down... I'm keeping track of these as well, but mark down a very hard perception roll.
Okay.
But you made it. You have a glance around, and for a second or so you think you're absolutely fine, but then at the last second, up near the T intersection, so where's the camera? There's the camera. Up near, close to the top, there's, on the left-hand side, there's a shuttered window that when you had your first glance around was fully closed. That catches your attention, because it's now partially open, and and you catch a glimpse of a face. You can't see them well. It's dark inside the room, but someone definitely saw you.
Okay.
Now, had you not rolled what you rolled, as far as you could have told, you actually there was no one there, but you were lucky.
Right, okay. In which case, what Tarquin's going to do is, while this person is unconscious, he's going to take out 2 tin pieces out of his wallet. He's going to press them through this person's eyes. He's going to whisper a prayer.
Okay.
Take out his dagger, and essentially open him up completely under the rib cage and across the throat. No, he's going to open him up across the rib cage.
Okay.
So, essentially, the bottom cuts of the Y that a pathologist would do on a dead person. And then he's going to insert his dagger. I mean, none of this will be obvious from a window, right? He's going to insert the dagger up through the inside of this person's chest. I mean, if he's still unconscious, he's probably dead. And essentially, by running a knife directly out through there, what he's going to do is pierce this gentleman's heart or his aorta, and then he's going to cut him across the throat. Then he's going to vanish back down the long end of the T, and he'll be whispering a prayer throughout this.
Charles, you're a medical person. How long would that take to do?
It's going to take him maybe... I think he could probably get, so long as he can't find his wallet or anything, everything should be at hand. This shouldn't take him more than maybe 20 or 30 seconds. It's going to be fast. In, across, up, out, in, gone.
Okay.
And I can tell you, if he hadn't seen this person, he would have taken considerably longer in what he would have done. So this is as fast as he can do the things he wants to do.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Yeah, maybe not even, but yeah, but
All right.
It's probably a reasonable guess.
So, call it 20 seconds in. So, yeah, 20 seconds in. You just hear someone shrieking from above you. Murder! Murder!
I don't hear what they're shrieking.
Sorry?
Right, okay, that's fine.
Murder! Murder! Bloody murder!
Yeah,
Assassin!
he's
Murder!
He's in the old quarter full of thieves. He'll place his knife back into him and vanish as quickly as he can away from the call down the T. And as soon as he's like round a couple of corners, he's gonna cast his face shifting on himself.
Yep.
And he's going to completely alter his appearance.
Okay.
He'll clean himself up to wash the blood off his hand.
How on earth does he do that? He's covered in blood. Absolutely covered.
Well, he'll have blood probably up to about just beyond the wrist on one hand, unless he's been bled onto. He shouldn't have blood anywhere else. He's
bleeding himself. He took 10 hits from the punch.
Oh, yeah, good point. Well, he'll do what he can. He'll clean his hand a bit inside him. He'll completely change his looks.
How does he clean his hand?
So he'll look for water. He'll look for a way to do that. If he can't find a way to do that, he'll look to hide his wounds as well as he can, recognising he can only do what he can do, right? And he'll look for a somewhere to go hide. Rubbish on the side of the road, half-collapsed building, doesn't matter where. He just wants to make himself as invisible as possible. And he wants to get, a decent way away from here. But bearing in mind there won't be many people around, he wants to be as hidden as possible.
Okay, sure. So, head round a couple of corners. He's done that. Make the spell roll, please. If you roll a 1 or a 2, he's in serious trouble.
97?
97. That's...
It's weird. I rolled 42 twice, and I just rolled 97 twice in a row.
You have. That is... Oh, I didn't open that all the way up. Bam, 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 bam. That is a successful. So what's his appearance now?
So he'll have short blonde hair, and essentially he'll look like a woman, is what he'll change his appearance into.
Okay.
With shorter blonde hair.
Okay. So he does that. He's lucky. Just rolled for you, and he's lucky. He nips around a couple more corners, and there is a trough for watering horses. There's some pretty stagnant, smelly water in it, but it's enough to rinse his bloodied... I'm going to say, actually, Giles, that the blood went more than just up his hand. It went a long way up his arm, and it's on his... It's definitely on some of his clothes. So he gets the water off his hand at least, but he's definitely got a bloodied shirt sleeve. And it was a punch he got from the guy, so he may not be bleeding, but he might have got a cut. He's got a cut lip, perhaps, but nothing more than that.
She's got a cut lip now.
She's got a cut lip.
Yep.
And then goes a bunch more blocks. Finds a building that looks, call it, where's my view gone? It's my browser. Finding a building that looks, perhaps like, maybe not quite that.
Pretty damaged.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, my really good images I don't have to hand. Yeah. What's this one? Find something like that corner shop there, you can see, and ducks in there.
Cool. And what he wants to do is see what happens. Our guard's going to come. Is anyone coming? And he'll be preparing to cast another spell. So if a gazillion infantry appear, he'll be doing something else.
Okay.
Otherwise, he won't bother.
Distantly in the direction he's come from, he can definitely hear raised voices and shouting. How long? But no one comes close to him in, say, 20 minutes. Does he give it much longer?
No, he'd bail now. I mean, he's still looking for Talia. It's still the goal, but he's going to still steer well clear of this area.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no one else on the streets. Where does he go?
Okay, well, I mean, at what time of the day are we at now, Chris?
Late morning?
Okay, he essentially is going to go home, but he's going to go home in reverse order to the direction he just came, continuing to look see if he can find Talia. So it goes whatever it does. Crimson, waterfront.
Yep.
Market.
So he retraces his steps. He goes past the gentleman selling breakfast meat, and all the way back.
And in each place, he's going to stop and look and check. When he walks past the meat guy, he's going to ask him, and if he gets the sense he's seen Talia, but no, that's fine.
No.
Okay.
He makes his way back, and probably by early afternoon, he's back at the safe house.
Well, I think his contemplation of I'm just trying to decide how risky I want.
Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, obviously, back in the safe house, he'll clean up. I mean, he'll have something to eat.
We probably will need to role play out with companions what their reaction to him arriving home bloodied is. Up to you how.
Well, he's already made. Yeah, so he's already made very clear the night before he needs some space.
Okay.
And they're going to need to give him space for a couple of days. So he will be frankly surly to his colleagues.
Okay.
And as night falls, it's just so hard with our lockpick. Look, I think he's going to have to. He's going to have to call it a night. I think at that point.
All right. And sleeps in the goes to sleep in the house. Okay, cool.
Correct. He'll be up very early the next morning, and he'll head back out looking for Talia.
Okay.
I didn't get a good sense, Chris, whether the day after this grim, nasty day is a quiet one, a joyous one.
Yeah. So I shall tell you. New Year's Day, the first day of the year, is one of celebrations and good tidings. People reflect on the good things that happened in the previous year, but mostly they focus on the potential of the coming year with optimism and hope. Babies born on this day are often considered lucky, but not extraordinary so, unlike accursed children born a day earlier. So you wake the next morning, and definitely the environment of the city, which was somber 2 nights ago, versus now, quite different. Give me a second. So suddenly there are people. There is. Let's see what I've got here. Just 1 second. Do I have any sounds of what I'm trying to... Yeah, there's sense of a brand new day and a brand new year.
Just spooky enough music for me. I'll let you off.
There you go. So I don't unfortunately have the sound effects. They have chosen not to work that I wanted. But you're greeted with the sounds of the city being animated. There are people out in the streets. There's laughter. There's clearly people are positive and happy after that horrendous day and that horrendous year for some people perhaps has gone.
Okay, so
and there's definitely more laughter and sounds of merriment in the street than there usually is.
Tarquin's going to obviously make sure he's clean and tidy, no blood anywhere, weaponry clean, taking the same kit he took before, except he's going to change his clothes completely.
Does he have
So he's going to wear... Yeah, he's going to have the knife clothes he just bought, when they were in the Elven City. They bought a bunch of knife.
Yeah. Yep.
So he's going to change into those completely.
Yep.
And go look for Talia. And there's a bunch of things I want to do, and I'm mindful of the time.
Yep.
But I'm happy to play this out as you like. But job number one must be to find Talia at the moment.
Okay, sure. So, it is early in the morning, and you would know from your behaviours that Talia tends to operate. She tends to be a late riser, from the little you know of her. You're probably more likely to see her in the afternoon. So your call with you.
He's going to head to wherever there's the building that holds public records. What he wants to do is see if there's a public record of the building of the temple. So he wants to see if he can see its architecture, the plans of it. So is there a Ministry of Internal Affairs with a public archive? Like that.
Okay. Could you
find it in Wellington, right? I mean, in every city. I don't know about the world you've created, Chris.
Sure. There is actually a skill called contacting, which might be applicable. Does he have streetwise? Is a question.
Yeah. So he does have streetwise.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Could you give me? A roll? A master roll based on half your streetwise, please.
Sure. Okay, so the roll is 8, but it's masked. Yeah, first time I've been happy for a mask roll.
Yep.
Okay, and half his streetwise is 32.
32, okay.
He has a good streetwise skill.
Yeah, he does. So, he heads. Where does he start off to try to get this information? Where does he head to?
Well, look, I think the sensible place to go would be. Hang on a second. I know there's a district that does the government quarter would be the obvious place to go, with its opulent palaces and imposing government buildings. So he's expecting that it'll be a government building that'll have the sort of information he's looking for.
Just a second. Yeah. Let me have a look. So he starts speaking to an older middle-aged woman. She's out with her children. People are smiling and laughing. She's out buying ribbons for what appears to be the girl's hair. She seems quite well dressed. Tarquin heads up to her and chats to her. She says, yeah, I'm a local. I live here. New Year's Day blessing upon you, son. New Year's Day blessing upon you, my boy. Yes, I think that either the Hall of Scrolls, that building, she points down the way. You see the large one with the spires. Either that one, or the Sage Hall. Either one of those. I know they have lots of books. Plans of buildings? I don't know. I don't read myself. But
Thank you profusely. Oh, sorry.
they have records of the city, taxes and things.
Thank you profusely. Head off to and just make sure I've got the directions right, and head off to the Hall of Scrolls.
Okay. She said it's either the Hall of Scrolls or it's the Sage's Hall.
Yep, so we'll start with the Hall of Scrolls if it's closer, and then we'll move on. But if the Sage's Hall is closer, we'll go there first.
Okay. So you head up to this building. It looks a little bit like, not a million miles dissimilar. You see that one there with the quite beautiful minaret at the top. A bit more crumbling, a bit older, all the rest of it. And there are a large number of people seem to be in a very good mood, by the way. Obviously, the wreckage isn't there. They have cleaned up quite a lot since the earthquake. And there are a whole manner of people at desks. There's lots of writing going on. There's quite a lot of stamping in books. There appear to be civilians coming in and speaking to some of these people behind counters. A couple of people seem a bit put out by some of the things they're told by the looks of it. Others are quietly talking with the people behind the desks and behind the counters.
And the Hall of Scrolls or the Sage's Hall, just so I know.
This is the Hall of Scrolls.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll find someone who looks official, and I'm going to go have a chat to them. Again, I'm going to dupe the crap out of them. I'm going to tell them a bunch of cock and bull that I'm an architect from Jabom. I'm interested in the design and development of the temples in various cities, and I wonder if they have official documents of their temples that I might be able to look at, public documents that I might be able to examine, for my academic curiosity.
Okay. Great. So, great line, great story. You are also dressed in your very, very fine clothes. Appearances in this world matter. So you are dressed very well. Could you give me a master dice roll, please? Hope it's a good one.
Well, if it's marked, it doesn't matter, does it? What matters is it's good on your little...
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, that's going to equal 127, isn't it?
Did you say 8?
8, yep. And my duping, so just to remind you, Chris is 104.
Wow. Okay.
Why did I choose lying as the best skill? It's literally higher than... Lying is the best skill he has. He's better at lying than using his short sword. It's ridiculous.
So this middle-aged man, he's kind of laughing and smiling. He's eating New Year's cake day, which is quite a common thing. There's lots of raisins and berries and things in it, munching away quite happily. As you come up to him, you've noticed him a bit. He's been kind of directing traffic and telling people where to go. Yes, my boy, how can I help? Happy New Year's Day to you. It will be a good year this year, I believe. May the gods smile on you. How may I help?
I'm going to recount my story. Architect from a foreign land, interested particularly in temples, wonder if he has architectural plans and the like of the local temples that are in the public record he could look through.
Odd request. I mean, many of the buildings here are very, very old. Records go back a very long way. We might have some. There is a fee, obviously, for the sage's time to look up such documents. But yes, I'll see. Come with me, by the way. Come on. Would you like some New Year's Day cake?
I'll thank him, take the cake, tell him how wonderful it is, tell him I particularly like the look of, and I will essentially describe the Temple of Hera. It really caught my eye wandering around the city.
Oh,
you know, just in a kind of friendly, offhandy, conversational way.
Yeah, it's a beautiful building. Has fallen on hard times, though. You would have you would perhaps be aware. Yeah, look, come with. In fact, I'll do it myself. Come with me, Bobby. And he heads behind the counters, puts his New Year's cake down, and says, "Look, I know where to look. Obviously, the commoners' buildings, of course, we don't keep records, but large municipal buildings like that, yeah, well, look, we may have. I'm just going to go and have a look. And Giles, I'd like you to make a roll, please. I'm going to say arbitrarily there is a 35% chance. 35 or under, and you're in luck."
No, I thought it was 8. That's 48.
Look, I'm sorry. I found this one. This is, and he lays out a schematic plan. This here, I find this fascinating. I love the little alcotraves and the little alcoves. This is the temple of Arohir, the king of the gods. Don't you think it's remarkable? Please, you're welcome to study it.
I thank him profusely. I'll tell him I'd love to have a look at it. I'll ask him if there's any chance I could have a little look myself at the back, being very used to looking in old scrolls.
I'm sorry, that's not possible.
Any chance I can bribe him here?
Do you have bribery?
Are there any skills that are like bribery?
Let me find out.
I do not think I do. I think you should have said I had a 48% chance, Chris. Just coming. So could he?
And just. Subterfuge. Just coming. Survival, athletic, summary, no, back. Subterfuge, here we go. Acting. No, hang on. Doesn't have bribery. What's I can't. It doesn't.
Could he use his charm skill? Could he charm him?
Yeah. It's really strange. Don't know why it doesn't have that. Just give me one more second. Yeah, I'd give you a quarter charm.
Okay, so I guess what he's going to do is take out. This is a pretty well-to-do city official, right?
Moderately well, yeah. Yep. Yeah.
I think he'll take out a silver piece
Okay.
and slip it between two fingers and sort of lean across on the bends and sort of, as if he was tapping his knuckles, sort of gently tap it, pushing out the silver piece and ask him, please, if there's any chance he might be able to take a little look.
Okay.
It's such a beautiful temple.
Okay, so give me a roll.
$69.
69.
Well, and a quarter of his charm is Oh, that's going to test me. Hang on. 24, I think.
Okay, I would say for this one you probably can see the effect. Yeah, so you're a bit too hasty. So Tarquin just kind of launches into this a bit fast. You're actually doing quite good, and then you kind of forced it. You kind of tried to give him the money, and a bit too fast, and he suddenly got wary. You can either... You've got the choice of either backing away now or giving it one more shot. Your call. But if you try it again, it'll be at a minus. He definitely... You came on a bit too strong. The showing of the money was a bit too much. Your call if you want to risk it at a -10.
Yeah.
Give me a roll.
Oh, 69 again. That's the third time this night.
69, -10, plus 24.
It didn't work last time. It's not going to work this time, is it?
Yeah, same. Look, he's... hey, I'm sorry, son. I know. He's kind of looking around, seeing if other people are noticing. Doesn't look very happy. And his sunny kind of disposition has changed somewhat. He's not angry yet,
in which case, what Tarquin's going to do is slip the silver piece under the... slip it so nobody else can see. He'll shield it with his hand, but he can see under the map he has.
Yep.
He'll thank him. He'll ask him. He'll have a look at the map, and then when he's finished, he'll tell the guy his plan is to head to the Drowned Rat for a drink, and if he wants to join him for a drink, that'd be great. And maybe at some point he could show him, to give him a tour of this building, and he'll leave.
Give him a tour of the Temple of Arohir?
No, the building he's in now. This.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's not very hard to figure out what Tarquin wants out of all of this, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So he'll leave the building.
Okay. He looks kind of. He is looking a bit quizzically at you. You head to the Drowned Rat.
No. I'm going to name a time. Say 4 o'clock. I'm definitely not going to head to the Drowned Rat. He's going to leave and look for Talia.
Okay. All right.
Well, I guess he might. There seems to be a little point going to the other building. Yeah, he'll go look for Talia.
Okay, sure. Where does he go?
He'll do the circuit, Chris. So the first place he'll go is the market.
Okay. So, yeah, you're lucky on this occasion. You're in the market. Let's see if I can bring it up again. There we go. And yeah, he's lucky on this occasion. I mean, admittedly, he goes back to a particular stall that Talia likes. There's a particular type of food from where she's from, next city over, that she's frequented. So it was a reasonably safe bet she might be there. But yeah, sure enough, she is there on this occasion. Greetings, New Year's Day, she says. How are you, my friends? Your name is, I know you.
Excellent. Sorry, Chris, the internet froze.
Ah.
Yeah, so she is there, jolly good.
Yep.
Tarquin will, greet her as an old friend, back up a conversation.
What's your name again? You were here some weeks ago, no?
That's right, yep, he'll agree. You're here a few weeks ago. She was very helpful then, thank you very much. And Tarquin will remind her of the healthy prize he paid for the information she provided about Jewel Island. That should remind her.
Oh, yes. How did that go?
Well, Could have gone better. Could have gone worse. I'm still breathing.
Was there trouble?
There was trouble, but I met some interesting people, and we're still here and still breathing. More importantly, I appreciate that the information you gave me was so accurate and worth the fee.
That's what I do. It's my trade.
And I'll say, and that's what I'm hoping for. What I'm after is a set of lockpicks. And I'm wondering if you might be able to help me acquire one.
I can help with all kinds of things. Can you help me? Help you?
I may be able to do that. Yeah. How can I help you, Twilight?
Well, you could help me. She says, and she's looking kind of quizzically. Goodness sake. Turn this page. She's coming. There we go. You could help me dramatically by providing me with 5 silver.
That I can do, Tari.
Really? Okay. Good.
I have no trading skill, and there is no trading that. I mean, she's not really the sort of person to trade with, right, Chris?
You can trade with anybody in this world. You can do anything in this world.
I don't have a trading skill, but there was another one that you could get a half or a quarter off. I can't remember. What was it?
Light perception.
In which case, he'll try and trade her down.
All right.
He's clear he wants it, so he'll do his best.
Give me a roll, please. Master.
Nine. Sometimes master rolls are really good.
Could be good, could be bad. What's a quarter of his, what's a quarter of his...
Just coming, Chris. Just coming.
Yep.
19.
Yeah. Sorry, I... Did I say 5 silver? Sorry, my friend, I meant to say 4 gold. I can get a few quickly.
What? How can trading make the price go up by tenfold?
Because you did a bad job.
Okay, I'm going to pull out 5 silver pieces. That's what she wanted, wasn't she? And give them to her. I mean, she just increased the price 40 times. So I think I'm going to pull out 5 silver pieces and put them in front of her.
Sorry, friends.
And then I'll pull out another.
I misspoke. Just thinking of the correct rate. Between friends, like, yeah?
All right. I think Tarquin will politely decline, take the money back, and I think that'll do us. Chris, I think Tarquin will make his way back to his friends, and I'm mindful of the time.
Okay.
And Merrin has just finished studying too, so I think maybe that's where this little adventure will finish.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Let's pull up the end credits.
Right.
And the end credits are rolling, and